Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are kicking off the decade here. Not every day you get to say that. With the Blast Premier Spring Series. I'm your host, Semmler. It's good to be back. But I'm not alone. I'll be joined on the desk, and this is the desk, by Thorin and Spunj, my analyst. But now we're going to actually get to see these guys live in the server for the first time of the decade, and we're going to hop right into it. Our first match will be coming up right now. It's Faze versus Nip.
Feeling good about our first matchup against NIP, especially because we lost to them in Blast Global Finals last year. So yeah, we want to take our revenge, and I think we're gonna win it.
Playing Faze is always a bit strange. They have such an explosive lineup, but they're really up and down. So it's gonna be really interesting to see which Faze we're gonna play tomorrow.
I think it's gonna be a little bit different for both of us. They have, of course, a big roster change. It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be very different from what people saw in Bahrain.
I think we had some things planned out for how it's gonna go, and so I'm really excited.
A lot of teams do change their map pool during a break. So the map video, for example, it's gonna be a bit random, especially for us as well. Like, which map are we good on? Like, we don't know. So that's going to be really interesting.
In Faze, I think the one we have to watch out for is probably Niko.
I think the new kid from NIP, Nok, is going to be one of the want-to-watch players for this season.
I think we're going to win 2-0.
2-0 against NIP.
2-0.
2-0.
I don't expect any NIP magic.
And now, I mean, as far as Faze is concerned, Niko sounding pretty confident there going out of the interviews. 2-0, Rain as well. Is there anything to be focused on going into Faze here?
I mean, the question's always going to be in Faze, what's going on with the in-game leader scenario. I mean, you see there on the screen, Niko was still the in-game leader. That was supposed to be temporary, we were told a couple of years ago. But it seems like at the moment, they have very high standards for what they expect if they're going to bring someone in. So I always have to ask myself, will he be able to be the superstar player and the in-game leader? I got to give him credit. The majority of his career, he's done it. I just then come down the other side of like how good he is as an IGL though. So I still have my question marks because I feel like the talent here, if I even gave an MSL, someone of that caliber, I feel like they'd get more out of this team. So I'm a little bit of a skeptic of Faze. Maybe not in this game, but overall.
Yeah, well, you can see since they've added Cold Zero, now things are kind of done a little bit more by committee. I guess with Janko behind them, coaching, you've got Niko there. Maybe, look, you have to look at the pedigree on this team. You've got Olaf there as well. All of these individuals are going to be able to chip on in.
A lot of secondary callers, certainly.
So, as you can see on the bottom there, it is Olaf's birthday. So happy birthday to him. Brokey, obviously, right? We haven't seen too much from him just yet. The question is, will he be able to be one of these superstars like in the rest of the team? Will he ever grow into that? Or is he just going to be this key that they fit on in and then they use him however they need, right, to fill that last fifth man gap? And we saw that they put him with Cold Zero a lot, and we saw from interviews with Janko in the past saying they wanted to use him with a relationship like Taco was used with that of Cold Zero in the past on the Brazilian rosters, right? So it's curious to see how that one all unfolds. But on that graphic, we had, the roles of all the players. Something I want to point out here is Faze are not a traditional team in that sense. They're not like Astralis. They don't have a ride or die AWPer like device. Lots of people can do that duty. Cold Zero can pick it up if he needs to. Niko does the same. I think Olaf's taken over.
Back in the day, used to do it.
Yeah, I think Olaf's taken over what you'd consider the primary AWPing duties. But, I think that it matters on the side. It matters on the map. You see that with Liquid as well. On the CT side, if you're struggling to hold the position, pick up the big green, see if you can get it done.
Wasn't this a bit of it's almost like a Swedish thing. Olafmeister's brought the Swedish style in where it's like, hey, do we have any oppers?
Well, Counter-Strike seems to be trending that way with how skilled all these players are, right? They can basically use any weapon. If you're going to do things by the book, you're going to do it the Astralis way. So you're going to have a Daddy AWPer. You're going to have someone who's really just locked into that role. But these guys, because we talk about their skills so much, it doesn't really matter how they get it done or with what weapon, just as long as they're getting it done.
So as far as Olafmeister, he is one Swede, but now we've got a team of Swedes that are making their way as well. Their opponents to kick things off. NIP, Ninjas in Pyjamas, these are the five, the starting.
This ties in perfectly because notice for his role, Nok, the new player, doesn't say AWP, it says AWP question mark. Yeah. And that's because depending on what the hour is, what the sign of Sagittarius is at that point in time, apparently no one knows if he's the AWP. So I actually think this is the most interesting part. Whereas when Brocky came into Faze, he is clearly going to be a role player. Other people are there to be the stars. I actually feel like if they make this guy the star, if they say Forrest was good at that point in time, but he's gone, this is the guy who has to basically, he won't be Forrest, but be the new Forrest. Be a star player, give him the AWP when he needs it. This could transform the entire team. It won't just be one player change. The knock-on effect could really take them to a higher level, I think.
Yeah, just to build on that AWP point right there, when they initially came out, they said Twist was going to keep doing the primary AWPing, and they said that Nork was going to do the secondary or maybe do a little bit more on CT side. But once again, referencing that Lecro interview, he came out and he said that in practice, they were having Nork as the primary AWPer and they were trying different things. And then we heard from Banks just before that they're still working it out. So in this one right here, On the CT side, you know, you can run a double or set up no problems. It's the T side, depending on what strategies, what threat. We need to talk about him as well. The
Exactly,
coach
that's where you gotta go
returning now to NIP. What type of game style that he's going to be bringing? Because Counter-Strike's changed a lot in the 2 years since he was coaching last, right? Think about it. We've got the Krieg in the meta now. The new economy. I was talking to him about it in the lobby just the other day. These are all adjustments that he as a coach is going to have to make very, very quickly, because this seems to have happened almost overnight, him taking Pitter's position once more.
I think that's the key, though, is listen, with every team, like I did with Faze, I'm going to criticize you if you don't have a great in-game leader, because almost no one goes to the top without a great in-game leader. But I will say, if you have a tactical coach, someone who can help you lay the foundations, figure out some of the things an IGL does, you can definitely make up for it. And if we're told it's Lecro's the IGL now.
Yeah.
You can kind of cover some of his deficiencies and just leave him with some of the in-game stuff.
I thought, didn't the end of the global finals last year, FaZe really struggled there? They ended up last
place.
Yeah, so when you think about that, they lost to NIP. NIP came third. So maybe they've got something to prove here coming on out. And that break, this is where it's really curious right now, because Counter-Strike, after a break, you never know what to expect. I'm hoping teams have brought something new.
Well, what do we expect? All right, there's one big thing here that we all have to touch on as well. Forrest is no longer there.
Yeah.
Yes, we brought in a new player for NIP, but how big of an impact is the legend not being a part of this roster anymore do you think is going to have? Because he has done a lot of heavy lifting for them towards the end of that year.
To me, it's more psychological, because if you actually look at the raw stats, they don't actually match up with any of the way people talk about Forrest anymore. They talk, he's still top 10 player, like the stats say no. So that's just literally case closed. But if you talk about psychologically, if you have Forrest next to you and you're a young player, that's crazy. If you lose a player like that, you are going to think, like, well, we don't have any of the old NIP players. It does do something to your identity, I think. So I think Nork he doesn't have to be as good as Forrest, but he's got something to add to the team.
So, gentlemen, thank you so much, but it is time to get into the match as well. So we will actually bring our teams out onto the stage now.
Well, yes, indeed, Semmler, thank you so much. This is going to be a great time. We're here at the studio. Yeah, here we go. It's going to be live right now. I can't wait for this. They can actually see each other at least for a little bit, and it's going to be, it's going to be fun to see. Just the fact that they could stand up theoretically between rounds and laugh at each other, point. But that's the effect we're looking for. They are a Swedish team, Moses. There's a limit to how much you can force them out of it. We're going to get live with the game, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to the show. It's FaZe and NIP here, a best of 3 to start off Blast Premier, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be exciting to see how this all plays out. It looks like it's going to be NIP starting on the T side with FaZe on the CT side.
Yeah, and that's on the virtue of FaZe winning a knife round, obviously, to knife for the sides. Olaf is going to have a kit and 2 flashbangs for this defense. Plenty of utility picked up for NIP on the attack. A couple of players twist and res with that, so we'll see what kind of tactic they have ready to put in place. And there is the countdown into the live pistol round. 15 seconds left for these teams to call their strategy. And our first look at this new NIP lineup.
I mean, those 2 smokes on the 2 HEs, that doesn't even give us the game, does it? We don't know. That could be anything at this point in time. So I guess we'll have to see what they do.
You'd imagine those double nades are going to be for a position potentially towards that B bomb site where you can double nade maybe towards toxic barrels, maybe towards the bomb site, try and eliminate one position, try and deal some damage. We'll see how that plays out. Rain, Coldzera, Niko, and Brokey, all aggressive. There's the nade, the first one. Pushes Coldzera back, but the long pressure is in. Trades, Niko, he wins all the fights, 2 of them in his favor. And into a 3-on-3 we go.
Oh, he was all in at the last moment there, wasn't he? There was no falling back. He couldn't even reload, so just had to hit a couple of headshots. He did, and it leaves them in a 2-on-3. Rain down in connector alone. Olofmeister all the way across the map. They can't even help each other out right now. So the rest of FaZe, I mean, good news for them. They have a lot of firepower in every single person on this lineup, but they're going to need it right now. There's not going to be any kind of coordination, and NIP have slowed this down, and I kind of like this. There's a minute left.
Especially when it happens so early in the round. Slow things down, make sure, see what the response is going to be from FaZe. Any piece of information, a misplaced footstep from Rain could give away the game. Olaf has got to play so far back. So these 2 players, it is so difficult for them to cover both bomb sites and be kept honest, while also helping each other out. It's all down to timing here. And NIP going the route of long A, there's the least chance they'll be able to get spotted from other portions of the map.
And they have USPs now, so they can even take a fight at long range, which normally is maybe one of the reasons why you wouldn't want to do it with a Glock, but this is going to be fine. Rain is now pretty far away, and Olofmeister needs the information. I don't know if he got it jumping there. Maybe he did. Rain has started to sneak back up, and he's going to join them in, yeah. So Olaf just has to stay alive. They have to try and pincer them into the bomb site with 25 seconds left. It's going to be a bomb plant and a smoke to block him off. That's a great position to have a smoke left in, isn't it? Rain missing a shot. He almost never does that in pistol rounds especially. Going to get one more. Oh my god, and taking down Twist. That is beautiful. Now Lecro a little bit shot, surely losing his 2 teammates in a second, and he's holding alone here. Smoke is going to be disappeared. He's in such a rough position, and he flicks. He gets the kill on Rain. That's not bad. The flashbang, it does nothing, but he's definitely panicked a little bit now, and Olaf's got him sandwiched in. He's almost out of bullets. He actually escapes around the corner and makes it down the stairs as well. Oh my god, that might be everything he needed. There is a kill on Olaf, but almost no time left. He's got to find him right now, and Olaf, he gets the kill, and I don't think he has the time.
No.
NIP, they win the round.
What a huge clutch from Lekro, because Rain almost brought that right back, and he plays that 1v1 just about perfectly. He's basically challenging Olaf to commit to that one-on-one, to swing out a little bit wider towards the corner, and Olaf never takes it. Time runs out eventually, and a great double kill from Niko, a great double kill from Rain goes to waste.
Wow, that was an intense way to get started, because if he gets that kill when he's jumping down the stairs, it's not even a close round, is it? He just defuses that bomb easily. Now we are instead. They pick up the Galils, the Mac-10s, and double scout, though, on the Faze side of things. So they can definitely hit back here. That's a great round, or a great map, I think, to do that double scout. I'm in favor of all the scouts. If you want to buy 5 of them in a round like this, I'm in.
Ooh, that's a great shot right to the face of Rez. Niko's gonna fall back, another one follows up. Olaf and the scout on Overpass. Beautiful stuff, a 5-on-3 advantage for Faze.
If you're an IP, this is everything you don't want to see right now.
It's a calamity. That is the worst way to start this round out. Now they have to come back into it. They still have the weaponry, but those scouts so dangerous, and they get even worse now, because now they can sink back to the bomb sites, and even if they don't get a headshot, they tag you up, and eventually with the man disadvantage, NIP is going to have to commit somewhere.
And I mean, slowing it down is not the worst idea, but it's not guaranteed that that's going to work either. You could easily walk into another shot. Rain, I think, almost had that one lined up. The Deagle could absolutely do it. The range, he sees one, a second one, and yeah, they know everything. And the boost down here, they're walking right into it. Instant headshot from coldzera. Man, they're in a lot of trouble.
I don't even think it's trouble at this point. I think this round, it might just be over. Great shot from Nok right through the smoke to try and bring him back. I like what NIP did, though, not only slowing it down, but not using a whole lot of utility, realizing likely with the 5-on-3, Faze sunk way back into the bomb sites to play turtled up, and they didn't need to use the utility to control bathrooms. Unfortunately, getting spotted was a bit painful. Niko still going to challenge a little bit more. Flashbang takes him out. This is dangerous now for Faze.
Nok, ooh, great follow-up with the Galil. He's actually done a lot here. Bob can get this kill, but he can't in time. He needed to get around the corner, and coldzera was there to shoot him in the back, so we saw the live odds there, and just immediately favoring Faze. If they weren't already, which they clearly were, then they're going to be switching their way now, winning the second round and going into the third one. Yeah, a bit of a wake-up call to what kind of team you're up against, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's also, you could throw it right back to what the Desk just mentioned with some of these young players and playing on a stage and maybe helping you get a little bit more comfortable. You know, you feel good after winning that pistol if you're NIP, if you're Nok, that young player, but then you're just, you know, back to reality in the second round.
Yeah, nobody likes that. It's not the place anyone wants to be, Jason. Reality, that is. We're all trying to escape one way or another.
It is harsh.
Especially when, you know, coldzera and Niko are occupying that reality on the other side. It's just, it's not ideal, is it?
Making themselves felt already.
It is what everyone is hoping for, that puzzle really works out for Faze. I agree they were looking much better at the end of the year with coldzera mixing in, but you feel like if it works all the way, then it's just going to be so ridiculous. So
that's just been the story of their entire lifespan, this Faze roster through all the different iterations of it.
If it works.
If it works, it's going to be something special. NIP playing this one slow. They want Lekro to have some time with the Krieg to try and find a pick, and he's basically just going to join up with his teammates. He'll be able to play the baiting game with a bunch of pistols surrounding him. Only the one smoke, and that's on Lekro. They need that for the bomb site, so a pick is really what they're hoping for.
Hofmeister is a little bit out on his own here. He's got Rain behind him with an M4. They're going to be re-smoking that position, so he's just feeling safe, I guess, at the moment that no one is going to try and shoot through that smoke. They only have Deagles on the other side mostly, so maybe he is going to be fine. A little bit of a distraction. Lekro actually with the opening frag, taking down Rain. That's not bad at all, but Hofmeister, it's a pretty good return. The Krieg, though, is still in play, and now there's an M4 picked up on the ground, and an instant headshot from Nok. That's what they needed.
That's a dirty shot from the rookie. Controlling the bomb site now. NIP, a good grasp on this, and these teams trading blows early on. Rez cannot grab that onto Brokey. Retake coming in, coldzera on the flank. It's Nok and Lekro to hold them off.
Well, they don't have any more grenades left there on the T side, and there is a kit in play on Brokey, so they can still retake this and make it work. Not going to be walking in. His aim is a little bit off. He was just pre-aiming a different angle, and now it's all on Necro alone once again. It's a nice little flick there to take down Brokey. Now he can fall back and buy for time, but he's actually sitting out in the open, and somehow he loses the fight. That looked like that was a perfect play from him.
No kid, he had to go pick up the kit. The time is gone. coldzera's going to lose this round and lose the weapon. Or is he?
Oh my god, it's so close. Surely not.
Oh my god, I cannot believe he's gotten that.
That has got to be one of the closest defuses I've seen in a while. That did not look like it. You heard that tick over sound, and even then, there was a little bit more. Wow, Faze absolutely stealing that one. I can't even believe he survived the initial engagement, coldzera.
This is a big risk from Olaf, and you can see Plopsky coming through the smoke on our screen, but definitely didn't have the same visibility on the other. I don't even mind the play from Lekro. The off angle, he catches coldzera off guard. He had his chance to eliminate him in that 1v1. He had the chance to win the round, and just barely a missed shot. In a situation where there was no room for error.
So that's Faze stealing around with scouts and then getting that last nanosecond defuse. That's a rough way to begin if you're NIP.
5 kills for Lekro, 5 kills for Nok. Rez and Twist stuck on 0 and Plopsky at 1.
Yeah, they're going to be a little bit frustrated, but it's still early days, so maybe they can make it back. And they're playing T side of Overpass, so I guess, you know, in grand total, they don't have to be devastated yet.
I like that. I like the exploration from Brokey. Start trying to find the information, put it in their minds that you'll be willing to push that. Niko guarding his teammates back, guarding Rain, who's playing the point man close up. He adds a kill on top of it, and this is just an easy wash against some unarmored opponents, tapping away. Almost nails it.
So far, not really able to do much damage at all, NIP, which I guess is a little bit of a shame. It'd be nice to get a couple of kills, just force the Faze side to spend some money at least.
Right, that's what they're hoping for at the end. These two Deagles just hoping somebody peeks into it, but they're so low. Next round's going to be a full buy for NIP, and we'll see how they can challenge. But you're right, if all 5 players of this Faze team survive this round, it's going to be much better for them. They can start opening up the playbook. But Lekro's added a Deagle headshot onto the scoreboard, goes for another, and he can't connect. And there goes Rez. 3-1 for Faze.
Not looking bad at all. How long do you think it'll be before Threat tries to sneak in some of those strats that he's really well known for, that are slightly more elaborate, where you've got like a deeper level that not many people have, I guess?
Threat strikes me as like a pretty systematic kind of guy. Like I think he's going to want to take these young players to get them to a certain level of like fundamentals that he wants them to possess before getting into the deeper stuff. So I think it's going to take some time.
You have to imagine. I mean, it's risking a lot, isn't it, if you try and do it right off the bat and just before they feel confident and comfortable with the overall play style. But it is one of the things that I do enjoy about watching, whenever Threat he's got his hands on all the buttons. That's fun.
Well, I really like watching this from Faze. Aggression towards the short sewers. coldzera and Brokey push into it. Posture like they're going to keep control with smokes towards the short sewers and then back off. NIP's got to be cautious as they progress towards this B bomb site. They realize that can be taken, that middle portion of the map. Plopsky still playing very passive in the underpass. Nok and Lekro waiting deep outside B. So NIP is still spread, and the only aggression is on Rez and Twist towards the bathrooms.
Look at how few grenades they have left on that T side right now. It's 2 flashbangs, a smoke, and a Molotov, so still a minute left. If they use those grenades to clear out, all the way up to a bomb site, then they're really in trouble. And even if they just save them and try and use them, it's not going to be that much.
This is some of the benefit of getting aggressive early on for Faze and then backing away. You kind of posture, you make them use some utility to see what's happening, to get some information, and then when you back off, they can't capitalize on anything. And now they don't have great amount of utility for the hit itself.
I mean, even down in this bomb site, coldzera still has a Molotov. If they try and go for it, that could break it all apart. There it is, being spent, buying more time, down to 25 seconds. Brokey's right on the other side. He has an HE and a flashbang. Any timing on any of these defensive grenades, and this is not going to be enough time for NIP. They're in a lot of trouble here. 18 seconds, pushing through. Brokey in that crossfire, flashing his way in and cleaning it up as coldzera taking down 2, and that's going to be a nice cleanup for him. A triple at the end of the round, and Yeah, he was so confident in doing that. I think he set himself up for that flashbang, and it was perfect.
Well, Lekro did a good, not Lekro, who was Brokey did a great job towards Monster of, once he gets that kill, just continuing the attack. Even though he's at a disadvantage in all those fights, keep the pressure up to give that space to Coldzera. And look at Coldzera as well, throwing his own pop flash off of the pillar. It lands perfectly. 2 players completely blind, as if he needed it any easier. Faze looking pretty clinical to start this first half.
Well, now it's really turned into that, right? Because it was sort of, there was some great scout headshots that got them started, but now they survived with 4 people in the previous round, similar numbers this time around, and that's going to start to really build their money. NIP, on the other hand, seem to be saving a lot right now. Let's file that under a round for NIP. That was sort of slow, feel things out kind of round. Maybe even too slow for or forced slow by they were running out of grenades at the end.
I was going to say, I don't know if it was the speed, it just felt like maybe a mismanagement of grenades with that level of it, that spread out kind of, defaulty strategy and everyone using a little bit here and there and just not enough to actually go into it. Remember, later on when they have a full buy, we'll probably see a pop flash for Brokey's position right outside Monster. We'll probably start seeing a Molotov grenade towards where Coldzera is. You'll see the different utility to force them and make those fights more difficult. They just don't have the resources at the moment. We do have a small tech pause here from the NIP side as they get things figured out.
Yeah, I think, one of the in-ears. So we'll get that sorted and replaced right away. I mean, I'm not saying that, if you have one of those rounds where you're not so quick, you don't immediately have to switch into anything that's fast, but it's always strange because if you keep doing that for long enough, if you have back-to-back 4 or 5 rounds on the T side where you do that and it's not working, they're already like a third of the way the first half through. And if you never test out the fast approach, you never know if that could work. And we've seen games like this before where suddenly it's just a B rush that works. It doesn't seem like it's not complicated, but it is. So I feel like you should almost try and test it. You don't have to do it right away, but at some point.
You imagine it is going to happen. I mean, we have to also remember this is a team NIP with the new roster. There's going to be some growing pains of bringing a new player in. There's going to be some growing pains of starting to implement the things that Threat wants to bring into the team and the elements that he wants to start building upon. So you are going to have some of these struggles, some of these matches where it feels like you just hit strategically a brick wall and you don't really know the answer to get around it.
It'd be interesting to find out at some future date how this has been for Threat coming in, because obviously I think, those of us who are old at this point in time, you think of Threat as, like he would definitely have the authority, right? But you never know with the younger crowd if
he always
they think
strikes
of him
me
that
as
way.
like a Swedish Gabi.
Yeah, exactly. That's not a bad comparison at all. But they have to trust in the system, whatever system he's trying to put into play. They actually have to believe that it works, and it's. I think especially with this kind of a beginning against a team like Faze, that can put a dent in that confidence, right? You might be starting to wonder exactly how it's going to be playing out. 4-1 though is that's nothing to complain about if you're on the Faze side of things. Looking good in the new year.
Yeah, and they need it. I mean, remember as well, this is also, the larger context of even building, not only towards Moscow, towards the finals there, but also towards this upcoming major cycle of starting to get involved in that and starting to feel good heading into one of the biggest tournaments that we have in the year. So there's a lot of things on the line as both these teams have taken some time off to kind of retool and figure things out. And certainly Faze wants to get 2020 started in a good way.
Yeah, they need to, right? Like we said this earlier, but it's the story of this team with, certainly the money to buy, great players, but then you want to see major victories and stuff like that.
Trophies being lifted, yeah.
Exactly. That's what you need. So we'll see if they can figure out a way to do that right now. What we talked a little bit about Plopsky. We talked about obviously Nork a little bit. You're someone who's been championing Rez as like is he already like an established good player in this? Is it just was he so quick? Because not that long ago he was the new man on NIP and everyone was like he's really good. I think GetRight said he was like like when you get GetRight's endorsement.
Well,
things looking good.
Remember when they picked up Rez, they picked up Draken at the same exact time.
Yeah.
And the conversations coming out of the NIP camp was always Rez is just like ready to go. He's already got like the mindset. He's already got the professionalism. He's obviously very skilled. He was the one they felt was going to be able to step up and just step right into place on a professional team. Either way, 4-1. We are live into the next round. Technical pause is over. All the issues have been fixed, and we've got Deagles. We've got CZ on Plopsky. As you mentioned earlier, any damage that NIP can do would be spectacular. Almost a chance for Plopsky, but Olaf recovers just fine.
Yeah, spraying with the Krieg. Usually not feeling comfortable about that at all, but yeah, they're going to be falling back. It actually looked like Rain wanted to stick around at the fountain up there, but he thought better of it. And this is a round where they almost can't really do much of anything. Just the distance, the scopes, it's unfair. Still, back to reality.
Yeah, that just goes right back to it. Now it just gets even worse. We'll see if Nok and Lekro can do anything with the Deagles. We saw Lekro have at least one nice shot earlier to take a gun out of the hands of Faze, but at this point it almost feels like even that's not enough. More damage dealt onto Nok. He's forced away. Twist got a challenge at long, and Olaf doesn't need to peek into it, but as you mentioned, with the scope, with the range, feeling supremely confident.
Yeah, and NIP just, again, I mean, if you brought this up earlier, you're just hoping for a mistake. You just want someone to walk into that Deagle crosshair, see if you could put a little bit of damage into. If you get a bomb planted around like this, that would be something.
They have a chance. I mean, NIP's playing a retake on the B bomb site because it was just Brokey there. I imagine as the rotation, see, coldzera is going to come back, and then they feel more confident to be a bit more committed into the bomb site. Utility being spent. Here comes the hit just to try and get that bomb planted. coldzera blind, covered by Niko, and Brokey handles the final. 5-1 for Faze, and they are on fire.
Yeah, that's going to be no problem. 5 in a row to start off the match with here for Faze. Just only NIP sneaking away that pistol round so far. That has got to change here. 7th rounds are going to be coming up. And still no AWP in play for NIP.
Still no AWP in play.
That can be a way, especially on a map like Overpass, right? Where you can maybe just find a kill, sneak in, snipe in somewhere.
On the T side, I mean, that might be something they switch to if things get really desperate. Still no AWP for the Faze side either. It'll be interesting if they decide to bring that out at some point. Olaf and Rain, this time aggressive down the danger stairs. Previously, we saw Faze take over the short sewers and back off. Now it's a different angle.
Blobsky's waiting for it, but there's 2 people on the other side, and they can throw flashbangs from inside a B into that hallway too if they want, so...
He also has no Molotov, Plopsky, so there's no fire to burn these 2 players out of position. This can be a pretty nasty bait and switch. If Plopsky commits to this, he's the only one there for NIP. No chance for a trade, so unless he pulls off some kind of miracle, it looks like Faze should be able to control the middle portions of this map and just control all the rotations between the bomb site. They can have nasty flanks on both sites.
And Niko's up on the high ground towards the A bomb site. He's spotting, making sure they don't get flanked from that side. So a little bit of an early spam coming through now. Blobsky going to be back around the corner. Doesn't want to get flashed or anything. That's great pop flashes you can throw. They don't even need them. Olofmeister going to take the fight. And now they're throwing more people at this problem. And yeah, there's Niko just chiming in from the back. Finally, they take down Rain. But this is a bit of a problem now. 4 versus 3.
A lot of time, a lot of resources, both in nades and manpower that NIP just threw to eliminate that defense in the stairs, and they had to do it. Now can they recover? Twist on 1 HP. 27 seconds on the clock, and Olaf still being aggressive. He just spots it before he looks away. Nok's gonna have to back off, and that's a good shot. Now he can join up with his teammates, and that's actually gonna pull Niko off of the A bomb site. A real chance here for the Ninjas.
Oh, they needed 12, 15 seconds on the clock, and coldzera, the lone defender on the A bomb site, just getting that kill and buying more time. Niko gets his face taken right off, coming to try and defend, and crawling in is Nok. He gets the kill on Cold, and that's gonna leave Brokey. And he's coming up from those same stairs, and they know it as well. That's gonna be a very, very rough retake. Even if they're a little bit low on health, how does he do this? He's just trying to force them out using his gun. He doesn't have any grenades or anything, and he walks into the crossfire. Rez will take him down. And NIP finally a 2nd round.
That's a good showing from Nok. Not only the triple kill, the kills to get into the bomb site, but even at the end, not getting baited into a peek by those just, pre-fires from Brokey's, trying to pull that player at truck out into the open so he can at least turn it into a 1-on-1. Nok having full faith in Rez to play contact. Ooh, that is a quick little one tap. We didn't see it the first time around. That's nasty. And builds upon it as well. 2nd round for NIP.
And that was a round where they were down 4-3, right? So they could have easily lost that round, maybe should have lost that round. Building a bit of confidence maybe after losing some of the earlier rounds. Nice shot from Rez. He was challenging an AWP and just comes out on top anyway.
Awkward timing for Olaf. He was repositioning. Flashbang caught him a little bit as well. That's a lot of money that hits the deck. Brokey with 100, Niko with 150 in the bank. Olaf, after investing in the op and getting nothing for it, is down below 1,000 as well at 700. So money an issue for Faze very quickly.
Oh, and they're not going to throw a flashbang to get out here. Yeah, turn for it though. Lekro, mechanically, he had that figured out. He knew what was going to happen. Just a quick shot coming in from Cole.
Faze going to keep 2 players to defend the B bomb site. Cold and Brokey there, but they've sunk back. Brokey looking like he wants to cheat, but Rain with aggression should be able to pass information on. This B bomb site's in a lot of trouble. Cold, really the only real defender here for the moment, and yeah, he's been completely eliminated from a different angle. Never expected it whatsoever. Niko's finally here to help out, and he's almost got a double.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage to put out. They've got a little bit more time, but Niko's at it again. There's the final follow-up, and Brokey in between 2 smokes. There was no way for Popsky to see that coming, and Rez now in a 1 versus 3, and he's just gonna get the 1 kill. Faze answering back immediately.
That's a miscue, though, from that B defense. coldzera not expecting anyone. That's not an uncommon play by any means, just crouching below that ramp and getting to the other side, and maybe a miscommunication of who is watching what or who is rotating where, but thankfully Niko arrives with a double kill to kind of close that hole in the defense.
Yeah, that could have been very dangerous. I think he was falling. He wasn't up there on the box when they were crawling past, right? And then just as he jumped up there, they were in position, so... Excellent timing, I suppose. Back to the Deagles again. This has really been a...
It's harsh.
It's really harsh. Economically punishing for the Swedes.
They'll probably be looking back at not converting that second round as a huge issue for this T side. Can't really blame them either. This is, what, the 3rd or 4th time we've seen them with primarily Deagles and a little bit of utility.
Well, Lekker's been good for some Deagle shots, so maybe we could see that once again. But FaZe are just not even giving them any opportunities at the moment. They're so far back on the map. Maybe, probably guessing the economy a fair bit here. Well,
now that Niko's come back to the A bomb site as well, Rain can get some assistance out towards long A. Olaf can now play right underneath the sign and be able to peek back and forth. Puts him in an awkward spot, but the support for Rain is a huge deal. Olaf can choose to commit and at least control long if he needs to.
Olaf just playing 2 positions. Ooh, there it is. Rez with an opening. Could have been a second one. And Olaf, he's actually going to go and push for it. They're pushing up right behind him. Olafmeister might be in a little bit of trouble. He needs this kill right away. Niko going to get one behind him, and Olaf will pick up a little bit slack there as well. So looks like a good defense. A good follow-up from Niko with a double at the end. So a triple, sorry. And he's up to 13 and 5. If Niko doesn't get all those kills there, Olafmeister's just trapped.
Well, that's what I mentioned. He can push out towards long if he needs the safety. Usually it feels a little bit better to do it when Rain is still alive, but Olaf had no chance. Once he saw the hit was coming up the stairs as well, he knew he had to just get in that position, take the one-on-one. He had his teammate covering his back, so they couldn't wrap behind him too quickly. That's about as best you could do, and they come out with the win.
Got some rifles back in the hands of NIP. And, I mean, it's getting close now. 7-2, not the best start, really. Even if it's a CT-sided map, you obviously want more than this. And it looks like a very aggressive setup out of FaZe. They're just waiting for it. Any contact, that flashbang's going to go out, and it's going to be a war out there at the playground.
Well, we're now, what, 2/3 of the way through this first half, and we have not seen anything fast-paced. We have not seen anything aggressive from NIP. FaZe is being allowed on the CT side to dictate all the action, and when Niko's got the hot hand like this, it feels like hell. You're just getting deleted everywhere you go.
That's very hard to deal with. That's even the M4, right? He doesn't even have the scope to fight with and doesn't even care.
Now look at the opportunities it prevents Olaf as well. 2 kills, and he gets bold, and he pushes down the stairs, opens the door, and barely any damage even being dealt. Finally, coldzera goes down, and he follows it up with a second spray. But that should be all you're going to get.
Yeah, it's a brave fight at the end there, but it is just not enough. Doing some economic damage, but I don't think that's what they're looking for any longer. 8-2 when moving into round number 11. This is starting to look really rough, isn't it?
Well, this is the tough part. Is I can't even think of anything that I would say NIP's done particularly well in this half that they could lean on. Like if you're trying to scrape together 2 or 3 more rounds at the end of this half, what do you have? You don't have any successful early rounds. The slow strategies have not been working. The defaults have not been providing you anything. You win the pistol round, and you win a round with a 30-second execute onto the A bomb site and a 3-on-4. Like there's not a whole lot of recipes that you can look at and just say, we're at least getting this opening kill at this part of the map. They're getting shut down.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, at least if you have some sort of temporary success on one part of the map, I mean, even if it's just early on, like you said, you could go back to that and say, okay, well, let's do that again and then build something behind it. This is kind of where, again, I was trying to say earlier, if they then switch it into something fast now, there are not that many rounds left to. If that works, the feeling is going to be, man, we should have done that earlier. That would, maybe we could have got more rounds. It's not quite done yet. I mean, if they get up to 4, at least there is a buffer for them to build something on for the second half. But it's I don't know. How do you come by those rounds right now?
Well, I guess if you are going to hang your hat on something, it's that FaZe haven't been able to, despite winning so much in an 8-2 scoreline, haven't been able to build up a whole lot of money. If you can just win 2 in a row, you reset them, and all of a sudden you're right back into this half. Still, like you said, a great chance to be in this game, but they have to string 2 together.
Olaf playing again a little bit close here with Rain behind him this time. Ooh, actually going to go even more aggressive behind the tree there. Maybe a bit of timing for Rez could be working out. There's the Deagle attempt, and Olaf's not really that scared of the grenade. It's going to land right on top of him. That's the safe way to clean out someone. Just don't even take that fight.
Olaf now controlling the spray as they turn the corner. His teammate goes down and he just wants to control long again, but he's caught off guard. The reload not there in time, so NIP have found an opportunity, but coldzera again, the lurk and the follow-up as well. They will definitely not ever expect 2 people to be here. Niko just needs to buy some time. He's got a kill. coldzera pounces, and Lekro needs to find 2 from behind.
Yeah, even Brokey was right behind him, and there he is, long range. He could have had another couple of kills. That was just a nice defense for FaZe in the early stages of it, but the fact that they get that flank in from connector that quickly, that's so hard to deal with if you're NIP, especially because you're still trying to negotiate your way onto the bomb site. It's not even worried about flank yet.
It feels like even when they're getting some of those kills or some of those trades, they're not able to pounce on it fast enough. They're still so far away from the objective of the bomb site itself that it's taking time, and that time is what's allowing coldzera and even Olaf to flank up or down those stairs. They've had a few rounds where just the pacing has allowed FaZe to recover nicely because of the flanking.
Olaf all the way down long with Rain, and yeah, this is going to be a Rain by the bathrooms instead, but that's a forward AWP again. That's kind of a look that NIP haven't had to face that much. I mean, they shut it down that one round, but yeah, if you crouch into this, you're done. Twist is on the other side, just inches away from death, without really knowing it yet. I'm gonna call him back up. Ooh, he actually goes for the wide peak. That saved him.
That's very bold. Olaf's got to hustle away, and yeah, they have to slow down as well, which gives Olaf the chance to get into some safety. He's going to go for the peek. Shoulder peeks it and goes right in. This is 0 for 2. Olaf with the op. He's been shut down twice now. Rain dodges the flash and controls the spray and can't follow up on Rez.
He got that dink, but with the M4, that wasn't quite enough.
And look at the response from the defense now. Brokey's just pushed out of Monster. Wants to start clearing and shrinking this map for his team. He needs to find Knock.
Ooh, and it actually looked like he was about to have the perfect timing there. Knock was almost looking the wrong way, but it works out anyway. Now they're going to be smoking up at that sniper spot, and coldzera is alone on the bomb site. So let's see what he's worth down here. 35 seconds. That Molotov about to clear. They're making their way around. Oh, an accidental jump, and he's going to go down. That's not the time you want to get that mouse wheel jump in. And now Niko in a 1 versus 3. And I don't know. There should be no chance here, should there? He's running away already.
Yeah, that mouse wheel jump is a real shame for coldzera. If he gets one more, and Niko is definitely capable of going and fighting and trying to win a 1 versus 2, or coldzera's even able to survive. So that's a bit of a disaster, and NIP going to get their 3rd, finally. So still a chance, as you mentioned, claw some of these rounds in their favor. 9-6 still a possibility, even if it seems far-fetched. Because look at the money. Niko's going to have to drop this AWP over to Olaf Meister. He'll buy himself, but it's not pretty.
No, it's definitely not. And I mean, that's the secondary story, I guess, of this match so far for NIP, and you pointed it out earlier. Just at least FaZe haven't managed to run away with the economic game. Another round for NIP, a 3rd one in the bag. It's definitely not done yet. Slight assist with the mouse wheel. Do you use mouse wheel jump?
Yes. Not like, yeah, I do. Just leave it at that. It's a long story.
All right. Sounds like there's
I know you wouldn't
regret.
expect it. Yeah, there is. There's a lot.
Right.
9-3.
Get some sort of therapist or something. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
For many reasons.
Yeah, definitely. We'll start the mouse wheel and it'll just trail all the way back to childhood. Oh, 13th round. UMP in play for NIP in spite of winning the round?
This is the chance that the Ninjas need. If they can build upon that previous win, take all the guns and all the money away from FaZe, all of a sudden they're looking like they have the advantage to get back up to 6 to claw this in their favor, despite the fact that this half has not looked pretty in any sense of the word.
And that would be great for NIP. I mean, that would sort of prove to them, and I mean, the young players as well, but that would give them sort of a feeling, right, if we don't panic, if we just stay with the system, it actually can work out. So that would be a good lesson to teach early on here. Let's see, Plopsky's making his way up alone through connector. Nork is playing outside of B on his own, and there's a 3-man squad clearing long right now, and the bomb hasn't even been picked up yet. A little bit of a fight here, and some good intel. Plopsky not even afraid to take that one.
That's a bold place to put Rain for a round like this. Just the Deagle to just challenge at the front of bathrooms the whole way. Perhaps he's just trying to be, you know, he just gives the signal, the information over to his teammates with the rifles, but not a real great chance of winning that fight. And even if he did, he was getting flanked out towards long.
They have 3 people at the A-bomb site right now. They're ready for it. Olofmeister's there. Another miss with the AWP, but Cold is going to line up a good double kill. Soft from Rain earlier there was Plopsky, so he goes down, and there's that flick from Olofmeister. He's watching the smoke as well. He knows they could come through any second. 25 of them left then. The bomb is on the ground. Nork goes down, and now it's all on Twist. 1 versus 2, and he does not have a lot of time. He needs to get this one quick before he gets shot in the back. Any second now, any delay, and he's going to be fighting 2 people at once, and I don't even think he knows. He's going to be dropped by Brokey, but Niko would have been there as well. Oh man, that was them having Faze at that economic edge. They could have maybe done this.
They've still got a chance. They've still got some money. They can still... The FaZe does not have a lot of money even after that win. So even for the last round, no, you can't fully reset them, but you can really hinder what they have in round 15. And, I mean, again, NIP, anything you can get at this point, 5 would be miraculous, to be quite honest. So with 4 rifles, still a decent chance.
Well, we're going to find out right now. Niko is way on top of the scoreboard, which is something that for a while people were getting I was getting frustrated because, you know, that was always one of the fun things about watching Niko in any team. And then there was a long stretch where we weren't even getting that. He was even, you know, sort of individually not putting up the numbers.
There was a long stretch for this FaZe team where you weren't getting a whole lot of anything at all. And that was perhaps the most painful.
Disappointment, a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, Rain again alone at the A-bomb site, far, far back looking for information. Trying to play as safe as possible as Olaf comes back again with the AWP. 2 kills with it in the last round. I think those are the only 2 kills he has with an AWP in this half.
Yeah, and he's had it a couple of times. A dangerous jump. You can get your face taken off from that. Niko close, a big double kill. And yeah, now they're just getting slowed down and whittled away. He even spots one out long, doesn't get the kill. Oh, Rain flying through the smoke to take down Lekro. He was scouring away in the corner. I think he just wanted some peace there. Rez goes down, and that's a flawless round out of FaZe. So
the door shut pretty quick for NIP. They had their opportunities in this half to come back in it, even with the disastrous start. And now that all goes away. 11-3 and a huge advantage in this final round for FaZe. They have all utility. They have the AWP, even against some AK-47s. They're going to be feeling comfortable. And this is perhaps the first time we saw NIP do anything relatively aggressive on the T side. They're trying to hit a timing onto that A-bomb site.
Just off the top of your head, out of the 11 rounds that FaZe have won, how many of them have NIP at least got the bomb plan? You got a rough idea?
I would have said 2.
And the real answer is 1.
And the correct answer is 1.
Yeah, so 11 rounds where FaZe just win by kills. Or 10 rounds where they win by kills. That's pretty rough. And that says something on its own, doesn't it?
Well, we mentioned the economic issues that NIP's had, that not having that extra $800 comes into play. Timing through Monster is going to get shut down, and this is where the utility advantage for FaZe can be so brutal, but everyone's blind. Oh, Brokey, a desperate scenario now. Olaf on the rotation, Rain on the flank, and Brokey is doing everything! Can't find Knock, but Rain is here.
Oh, it looked like he should have had that last kill. It was almost perfect. Rain goes down, the grenade. Right, a little bit too far, and now it's Olofmeister up here. What does he do? Because that bomb could maybe be snuck in and planted if they could just get a little bit of a grenade or something up here. The flashbang, maybe it's enough. Blobsky will take him down, and it's a 4th round for NIP right at the end. And you know what, ladies? That could be enough. That could definitely be enough.
Well, they have that buffer that you mentioned. They have what they needed to at least have a fight into the second half.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's FaZe and NIP here at Blast Premiere in London, and it's been a really, really rough first half here for NIP. Obviously, down 11-4, and the odds certainly reflect that. I mean, if they weren't already now, people really believing in Faze.
Yeah, I think at some point during that first half, you probably abandoned ship, even if you're an NIP fan. That was not looking good. But here's the interesting thing. Faze, I always feel like their struggles have usually come on some of the T sides that have looked sketchy, so this could be interesting. And look at this. So many bodies piled into this battle. Through the door in short sewers. NIP coming out on top for the moment, just barely hanging on, but there is a line that Faze cannot cross.
Oh, Rain sneaking in a kill. He's just running back and forth with the Glock. It felt like they could have almost made it past into the B-bomb side and Lekro would have been alone, but they stopped now. The bomb is going to be planted. This is turning into a very odd pistol round.
Rez might be the X factor though. Lekro can grab this kill, but Rez is on a big flank, and he's got coldzera, Rain, and Brokey all looking for this, but the wrong direction. Rez can sneak in through Monster.
Yeah, he's doing that right now. He needs a little bit of backup. He's going to see the legs just then. Instant headshot, but Rain will take one down. Brokey there with a double. And that is going to be huge. All of a sudden, a little bit of trouble maybe. Lekro sneaking on, and they're going to double team him. Brokey with a wonderful end to that. A triple overall. It looked like they were about to get crunched.
That is just a great three-man crossfire setup. That is a beautiful triangle, and it's executed perfectly, managing who's got aggression, when you're peeking and taking which fights. And as soon as Rez is cleared out by Rain, an immediate kill, that means he can be such a nuisance to the player coming out door. Perfect distraction for Brokey. And then the double peek at the end. 12-4. Faze just piling it on now.
Yeah, they were very decisive in taking down Lekro at the end. It's like, we're not going to be playing any weird games where you fake the bomb and we try and peek you and you take a shot with the USP. We're just going to take you down.
And this is NIP's pick. This is the map that they wanted to play, so this has not gone according to plan. Oh,
okay.
That's the Rain of old.
Saving those bullets.
He better go for all the one-taps in this round.
It's immediately ruined it, hasn't he?
Yeah, right as I say it. Didn't want the style points, but there's the MAC-10 coming into play, and 2 opening kills for Faze, and they should be able to encroach onto this bomb site without too many more issues.
I mean, the bomb is miles away, so even then they're not worried at all. This apparently was just a little bit of an adventure for them.
Well, they're saying, why commit? Keep the spacing with the AK-47s, and sometimes that backfires. Lekro with his Deagle. You can see Brokey and Niko still playing so passive towards top of the stairs, towards Fountain. They're looking for any kind of a flank response or flank attempt from NIP.
They still have so many grenades, so if they decide to go for this B-bomb side, some of those Deagles are going to be hard to put into use, especially the Scout. That'll be hard to find an angle with.
NIP needs to just stack a bomb site here. I'm almost a little bit surprised, although Rez playing at the A bomb site, able to jump over the boxes, can at least provide an early warning system, and the rotation isn't too bad. But this is where you'd hope NIP would just say, let's put all the players in one bomb site and see what happens.
That early warning system is going to be him jumping and saying, "I'm screwed, guys. it's too late. Don't even bother. They're already here with the grenades and everything." Flash surely coming through the smoke. No, actually, they're going to go straight for it. They don't even bother fighting him, and now inside of it, they get the bomb plant, but that's a little bit sketchy. Rez surely going to be going down, and he will to Brokey. So I don't know, a moment there where at least NIP had a chance to fight back, but it's still going to be 13-4.
You mentioned Niko at the top of the scoreboard towards the end of that first half. Brokey has caught up between this and the pistol round. He's now at 19 kills, tied with Niko at 19. Olaf at 17 as well. coldzera at 15. This is a pretty... I mean, this Faze team is performing just deep into the roster.
Yeah, that's... I don't know. That's outrageous, isn't it? Olaf Meister and Cold, you're right. They're all up there. It's everything you don't want to see as an NIP fan. It is map 1 of 3. You're right, NIP did pick this one. Mirage the second one.
It's looking like 2.
It is, isn't it? 3 HE grenades on NIP. See if they could find a way to combine those.
I like this. They're just, as soon as someone's spotted, you have to imagine, oh, the timing of it. They're holding their nerve for the moment. They want more than one with these 3 nades. Not going to get the opportunity for the moment.
That's a real shame. We all love those moments. Actually, maybe Faze, it looks like they're falling back. There could still be a chance. If we all believe hard enough.
They're being so cautious. They have barely moved across the map, waiting till the 1 minute mark, and now coldzera, Brokey, Niko, that trio taking over Party, taking over Picnic. Rain going to meet up with him with the bomb, and now that Niko gets control of stairs as well, they can pick between the bomb sites. Still, this stack and this nade setup is there for NIP.
Olaf is going to be walking into the bomb site, and I mean, if he sees more than a couple of people, it'll be instant confirmation that something is up.
If they use their nades, there's one nade. He spotted one, he's seen another nade, so he's called out the numbers of at least 2, and now I think it's just over. FaZe have made their decision. Molotov's into the choke point, smoke's up as well, and I don't think NIP gets back into this. This should be around a 14th round for FaZe.
Double grenade right onto the stack there. At least it does a little bit, so I mean, it softens up Olofmeister and Rain. But again, probably a little bit too late. It's a cool idea, though. Plopsky goes down, and Brokey continuing his lead on the scoreboard just once more. It's not bad. 21 kills in 18 rounds. That's pretty good.
That's a nice way of putting it. coldzera winning a couple right at the end and going to start slowly backing away. They want a challenge. They want to try and maybe just get a little bit lucky, take a gun out of the hands, force a rebuy. It's not going to happen. coldzera is just too good, too clean. 14-4, a 10-round lead for FaZe.
I like the idea of having that triple nade. I mean, you could see how it could work on B, and they could rotate back to the A-bomb side. You know, you got to try something at least. 14-4 though. Double up now in the hands of NIP. Why not?
Go right into it. You have no time to really test anything. Go straight to your strongest. Go straight to what you think is going to work best. And NIP have not done a good job of opening up these rounds in the first half. At least on the second half, they have the ops in position. They can try and find some early picks to keep themselves in this game. Oh, it almost Nok gets his head taken off.
He actually looked like he went back for a second jump, trying to shoot through. That is inches from connecting. He almost did it. But now he's lost Lekro down here. And that leaves him and Plopsky. I think Rez almost immediately rotating by. They're so worried right now, NIP. They just want to have at least a chance of picking up a round. And that could be risky all on its own. If you rotate, leave too few people on the A-bomb site.
It just puts the ops now in such a weird position. You can see how deep Twist has to play already at the A-bomb site. You can see how deep Nok. I mean, he's risking a lot going for these information plays, for these jumps. Little bit of utility to pressure the B-bomb site. Molotov and smoke towards the balcony to make these defenders feel the pressure.
And they're just all falling back.
They don't even have any nades that FaZe is pulling out of them. They're just out.
Look at that. Every single person on FaZe just fell back after that smoke up at the sniper spot. 40 seconds, and Plopsky and Nok are still down here. They're just saying, you know what, we've got 5 people alive, and if we can just have 2 at A, that should be enough. We can win that fight. Twist sneaking around. They're going to have very late warning. He's not jumping or looking over that box at all, so they're going to know when they're on the bomb site, and that is not enough time to call in any kind of a backup. And it's going to happen right now. Initial flashbang goes through. That's when they know Rez immediately flashed and walking into the shot. That's just a smooth execute for FaZe.
Just one pop flash. Why throw the smokes and the Molotovs that kind of give it away before the hit comes in? Use just the one flashbang. Get that first player. That's well done from FaZe. Now, I will say, that hit felt like it took a long time to come to fruition when they were committed to the A-bomb site. And I think against other teams that might encounter some more teams that are going to be more aggressive on the CT side, that'll encounter a bit more resistance. But here against NIP, it worked just fine.
Yeah, and I mean, I think one of the reasons why it would have been harder for NIP in a round like this to find the information is Nok, should he be the one pushing out a beat, like with an AWP? That's really hard to do, right?
Yeah.
And Plopsky could maybe do it, but then if he goes down and they're all out there, it's, I don't know, like I just think they're emotionally probably as well in a little bit of trouble, but you're right. I think a team like Astralis, for instance, they've been pretty happy
That's who I was thinking of,
yeah.
which is maybe an unfair comparison, but...
Yeah, why aren't they Astralis?
But some team that is going to be, not just stationary on the CT side for that whole round, even in a 4-on-5.
Yeah. No, I mean, you see the effect of it. Partly what killed them was an amazing pop flash there, but also just the fact that they didn't know until that pop flash came through. It's not quite enough time. 15-4.
I like this, though, from FaZe. This is a bit of a statement that they're going to try and make to come out in 2020 here in this opening split of Blast Premier. Good kill from Niko. He knows there's a boost as well. He knows there's one more. Goes for the blind luck. Not with him this time, but he's got his team with man advantage.
Oh, he's so aggressive. He's loving it right now. Maybe a little bit too much so, and I can't believe he got that spin in, Lekro. That's just a FAMAS, and somehow he's able to put in a double kill. Not bad at all. Now they almost line up. This could all get taken away right here, as Olofmeister will get one more in. It's now 1 versus 3.
Is that 4 kills for Lekro?
Yeah.
He's been an absolute monster with that FAMAS. Coming out of the stairs, he's done perfectly. He's going to find the bomb as well. Olaf rotating back, 19 HP, 1-on-2. He won't expect this. Wow. That's an ace for Lekro to keep NIP in the game. That's the kind of ace that you're happy you get, but it doesn't feel good.
No, you're right.
It hasn't really gained you anything.
It feels like it's too late, isn't it? You have to believe that you could go on and win another 10 rounds in a row. And so far, well, that just doesn't exist. They've only won singular rounds. They've never won more than one round
in a row. It's been a really, really rough map for NIP. Another full buy out of Faze.
This is definitely a tough beginning. Hard to know if Mirage is going to be... Could be... I could hardly be worse, but it could maybe be a bit worse.
Yeah, it shouldn't be capable of being too much worse, especially a map like Mirage. But that's Faze's pick, remember, so that's the weird thing about this for me is NIP picks this map and just gets bodied off of it. That's really brutal. coldzera close up, able to win that fight with ease, doesn't even take any damage. Rez misses the mark. This puts a lot of pressure on Twist, alone in bathrooms with the AWP, the only defender here. Good equalizing kill from Nok, an even better job of getting away.
Yeah, super important, but Rez, that's an AWP. I mean, if he fails a shot, he's probably going to be gone. Nice one on coldzera, and he immediately falls back. So actually, they've turned it around a little bit now. 50 seconds, and they could maybe do this.
That's a wild timing for Twist to turn around. The intuition, he just felt it coming. Nok and Plopsky to defend. One smoke on Plopsky as well.
Yeah, and that smoke could really be huge. That could buy so much time. 30 seconds on the clock.
I don't think he's going to have the chance to put it down. As we saw from Faze, their find was just the pop flash peak. That smoke's going to be late. Olaf's going to step in front of it as the Molotov comes in. Perfect timing. Needs to be a trade, and it is from Brokey.
Yeah, he had one chance. Like he was going to get mowed down with that MP9. 17 seconds on the clock, and it's an immediate bomb plant here. Faze looking to close this map out right here, right now. Oh, and Twist is going to get the kill on Brokey. That's not bad at all. Leaving Niko. 1 versus 2, and he's got an M4 on one side, AWP on the other side, and right now he's just saying, you're going to have to make a move because the clock is against you, and he misses that spray entirely. NIP at the end of their rope, but they're hanging on at least for now. It's going to be 15-6.
I think he got screwed up. He knew Lekro was there that whole way. He got screwed up by the jump onto the railing.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure where exactly the model was going to land. 15-6. Still plenty of chances for Faze, especially, by the way, if they keep getting these plants. Like, that's one thing that NIP didn't have the luxury of. They didn't get many plants in the first. I think they ended up having 2, and 1 was in the pistol round that they won.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that's gonna help them just glide a little bit longer. 15-6. I mean, we say this all the time, but at least you could get a chance to warm up. Find a way in there.
When that's the conversation, you know we're digging real deep for anything positive. Any silver linings for NIP is, oh yeah, maybe they just had these 21 rounds so far, just warming up. Get them into the game. Well, this is where you can also have that conversation about missing Forest. These are some of the rounds and some of the struggles they had in the first half of where you just need someone to create something that doesn't make any sense, that's not tactical, that just someone who's going to be able to go out and get you a headshot to open up a bomb site. That's what Forest brought that NIP's really looked like they've lacked.
It's true, and I mean, and it's maybe not even like a mechanical aim problem. Ooh, okay, maybe a follow-up here. Popsky, nice triple, taking down 3 players of Faze like that. But I was going to say that it's not like some of these players aren't mechanically good enough to do that. It's more like an attitude thing, I guess.
Like a play style.
Yeah. They're too Swedish. Is what I'm trying to say.
You said it, not me.
Just need to flex a little bit more on them.
Need to be more Danish.
I don't know. What's the ultimate? I think American. I think North American.
Oh, that is nasty. I can't believe he's hit that shot. I think he even reacted to himself hitting the shot.
More like that. That's what they need on NIP's side, though, not on Rain. He's looking for more, but Twist will take him down. We're gonna need like some sort of replay of that.
That was so nice.
Just make sure the kids are, not watching.
Earmuffs.
Yeah.
Well, Plopsky saves the day here. Back up over at Toxic Barrels. He needed that triple kill. He was the final defender. This is that shot from Rain. That's a thing of beauty. Rez probably has no idea.
It's like, what did I do?
I don't deserve that.
15-7.
Olaf's got a Mac 10, and he's got money in the bank as well, so I have to imagine this is a set plan, highly aggressive towards the B bomb site. Here's some utility. The boost over doesn't work. Perhaps they're nervous, and this is fast-paced. This is what we didn't see out of NIP in the first half. Gap in that smoke, but Nok can't take advantage of it. Not quick enough, and Rain's got the entry. Brokey builds upon it. Another leg shot, and it's all over just like that.
Wow, that is a knockout punch, isn't it? And the leg shots, that's so hard to deal with. When you're close with that AWP, you know you've got no chances. Once you fire that gun, they're going to be on top of you. More leg shots coming in this round. That's a little bit awkward, but you've got to be honest here. NIP, they're just out of time. Like, there's no way they can fight their way back into this bomb site. They're just going to have to try something, but they've already just gone too far. It's Rez in a 1 versus 4 here, and Faze just having a great start here to 2020. 16-7, taking down NIP on their map pick. It is a best of 3, but still, that's got to feel great.
Yeah, not just stealing away their map pick, but just completely crushing them on their own map pick. That's the kind of phase you want to see. And remember, we looked at the scores. 4 players delivering throughout the majority of that game. Rain had some very nice impact rounds, but that is the scary phase that you don't want to run into in a tournament.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to have that kind of a feeling. Niko playing really well, and Brokey as the inexperienced. I mean, he's got more now, but still, you know, new guy on the team. Still way on top of the scoreboard. That was exciting.
You're starting to see why they talk so highly of Brokey. Since the day he came into this team, they were very positive about what he was going to provide, and he delivers here. That's a beautiful job from FaZe. I like that opening. We got another map coming up, Anders.
Yeah, we do have more maps coming up. It's definitely not done yet. Obviously, Mirage the second one, Train is the third one if it gets to it, but there's going to be some serious conversation happening here for NIP walking out in the back. I don't know, like, this is... There's not that much to take away. I guess they did end with sort of a string of 3 rounds, so maybe that's what they could focus on, what worked there. We're going to find out when we come back after the break, so stay tuned.
Welcome back from the break, ladies and gentlemen, and from the first map of the year here at the Blast Premiere. But right there, looking fresh, Duncan, and that was a fresh first map. But was there anything that stood out for you to kick things off?
Well, remember, this was Nip's map pick. Like, they used to be a very good team on Overpass, actually. Meanwhile, traditionally, you don't particularly think of it as a FaZe Clan map, but this looks like a refreshed, replenished FaZe Clan, because look how assertive they were on the CT side. If I have players like coldzera, Niko, I could be tempted to just play back in the B site and we'll just let them come. I've got the spray, but they were switching things up. They were definitely making calls as they were doing things. They gave them a different look each time. Yeah, they were dictating the pace, right? They were making NIP have to work in these mid-rounds. We actually have an example that we can jump into here. We're lucky enough to have a little bit of the team speak, so there'll be some down-the-line shots here of the team talking. If we can jump into that, you'll just be able to hear what they were calling in that round. So let's see if we can get that one going.
Okay, let's do this one where I'm
Full
close.
one? Okay, I'm going alone now.
He's going to smoke B, I'm going to go smoke.
What do you want us to do? What?
Just body short, hold
okay.
under, just body short.
Do it.
Okay.
And Molotov?
Hold under.
Yes, I don't want.
So here they're basically talking about leaning towards the A bomb site, right? And a little bit at the start of that clip, they were just talking about they're going B a lot and we want to stop them from going A, right? So this is them leaning towards the A bomb site. Now with the clip and the example, I want to point out a couple of key things here. So we can get this one underway. Niko has asked coldzera to hold the flash. The flash is going to come over. It's not about getting these kills here that we're going to see from Niko. It's the fact that coldzera is a B player. Now, you have that flash assist now. We can see here the pace being accelerated over towards the B bomb site. All that territory from that 4-man A lane means that, look at this, NIP is stuck. They're already getting flanked. They have to go towards B. Brokey did a fantastic job of delaying with utility, and they're just going to mow them on down. Look, Plopsky gets a couple of kills here, but he's between a rock and a hard place, dies to that flank of Olaf, and this is that, I guess, dictating of the pace that Duncan was talking about, right? Forcing them around the map. It makes things very difficult when you can't even get a default spread. If you can't get toilet control, if you can't get long control, you're in a really rough spot. And FaZe did a great job. Brokey even ended up top fragging, 26 kills to his name. So good stuff there.
Yeah, even picking up the op towards the end, which was interesting. I mean, a lot of this speaks to confidence, and that's what we were all wondering. Which kind of FaZe are we going to get coming out of the break, coming into the new year? And it looks like a very confident FaZe here. All of a sudden, the 2-0 predictions from the players leading into the map, not looking so silly. Really?
Both teams said 2-0, so someone had to end up being...
The only thing is, though, if we're talking about confidence, forget even just the scoreboard. Like, it was clearly on the side of the FaZe guys. Like, they were very loose in this game. Most players hit their shots, maybe a few whiffs, small off Meister here and there, but you go over to the guys from NIP. I mean, I know some of these names aren't as familiar. Like, a lot of people don't know who Flopsky is. They have no idea who Mist is. They don't know about Pez just giving out free $300 kills.
Okay.
See what I'm doing there, boys? Anyway, whatever. You know what I'm here for.
We actually got to listen to a few of the comms as well, and so what do we make of it? coldzera and Niko, it seems like they're splitting the pie there on the comms.
It makes me wonder if this was part of why they were so insistent we have to play together, and they've basically tried to engineer it the last couple of years. Because listen, it's different when Niko was just the IGL and it's just Carrigan plays another role. If you have coldzera, he was part of those major winning championships as a secondary caller. Fallen would be the main caller. He'd come in with something though. He'd make a read like we sometimes heard there, just something about how they're positioning, how he wants to play his spot. So I actually think if you do a little bit of committee there, maybe that makes up for the idea Niko isn't a traditional IGL.
Yeah, if he's going to be taking over roles on the CT side, you know, you could see Niko as playing the swing position, right? But if coldzera can be dictating and helping there, or if he is the guy who's going to take that role, well, you're splitting the duties in half, right? So on the T side, you just have to focus on that. You don't have to worry about the CT stuff. If coldzera is going to be taking that over, he's set on some maps, right? So it's going to be curious to see where that influence comes in, and if it's different play styles, because you also now have the ability to flip-flop between those two. Cole can be like, hey, Niko, today you take that over, and different patterns of calling rounds is a difficult thing to read, and that's what you need to be in Counter-Strike at the moment.
So what do we think about this going into Mirage? Because that is going to be the second map of this series. We were kind of not shocked, but a little bit surprised perhaps to see it come up here in the pick ban. Is that something where we can expect to see something crazy here from FaZe?
This has always been a good map for every team Niko's ever played for because it's a great map for Niko. Like, there's so much you can do on it. Obviously, people know in the current map pool, it's one of the more frag heavy. You can play a little bit looser on that T side. I'm actually very excited to see what they're going to do on this. Obviously, a classic coldzera map as well.
One of the bigger issues, I think, for NIP is nobody really got going in that game. You know, so Lecro had a couple of moments. He had the pistol round. He obviously had that round with the AWP. He found some impact there. But the thing is, the rest of the team, besides Rez, I guess, Twist has been around for a very long time. You look at the Nork and Plopsky as youngsters, need to get them activated. Maybe Mirage is a better map for that. Maybe now that it can be a little bit more defaulty, scrimmy, mid-roundy, they can get going here. But at the moment, FaZe look like they're just going to run away with this.
Is this a map where we could expect to see Twist wake up a little bit? It seems like he had a bit of a cold start there on Overpass, not exactly hitting some of the shots. Is Mirage perhaps a map that we can look to?
He is a very streaky player anyway. I mean, even if you see him as a person, he doesn't always seem like a guy who's super decisive. So I feel like I don't think he's necessarily a terrible player right now. I think he's just very hot and cold. So the issue for me more along these lines is this wasn't their map pick. Like, they were supposed to win Overpass, then not worry about Mirage. So I feel like they are kind of boxed in a little bit here.
Yeah, I think they maybe need to come in with a little bit more of a in-your-face aggressive style, and the sense of that is to get the players going. Because look, there are more days here. If you can't get the victory right now, there's no reason you can't come back on through and qualify in one of those top two positions. But there are going to be a lot of teething issues, right, with the team as we see them coming into Tier 1 Counter-Strike with the new addition, with the new coach. It is a slow start. It's not what you're looking for, and it's going to be pretty deflating, actually. I think, you know, it's hard to get your energy up. And once we spoke about it, it's an intimate environment, right? So you don't have the crowd to kind of push you. You don't have that awe right there. You've got the fact of, hey, you're in a little studio like this. You got a nice intimate crowd. You've got to get it going yourself. You can't rely on any outside factors.
Welcome back from the break, ladies and gentlemen. So we're about to get into the second map of this best of 3 series. Best of 3s all throughout the groups. And obviously, providing the odds, we will have Betway here with us along the way throughout the groups and into the showdown and finals. But now it's time to hand it over to Anders and Moses for the second map of the series between FaZe and NIP.
Oh, thank you so much, Semmler. Those odds were looking really rough. I don't know if you noticed down at the bottom, it was like 5-1 against NIP. That's not great.
I didn't notice, but I can believe it. After that first map, I believe it very much.
It's just all uphill, isn't it? The game is ready. Jason, let's get into it. Oh, let's go. It's going to be a wild one, this one for sure. Mirage, last chance for NIP to have any kind of an impact on this best of 3, and it did not look good on Overpass. They're going to have to do a hell of a lot better here, and this is FaZe's map pick. So there we go. It's FaZe on the T side and NIP on the CT side. Let's see how this all plays out for them now. Again, good start is what they need. They need the economy. They just need everything that didn't happen on Overpass.
Well, right to the B-bomb site we go for FaZe. All 5 players in the halls. 2 smokes, 3 flashbangs. Well, I mean, at least Lekro's not in the bomb site itself. He's playing over on Catwalk, and he's going to have to play retake, and there's going to be nothing that he can really do. Flashbangs come out. Smoke's a bit late, but he had one chance to hit that shot, and he missed it.
Yeah, they basically gave him a free one, and that was all. So Bomb is going to be going down without anyone actually dying on either side here. So that's a bit odd. It's a 5-on-5 for a retake. Olofmeister holding their flank, and Rez goes down. And that is so much relief for FaZe. They love that. Now they know they can focus on every other path into this. And the job just got a lot worse for NIP. There's Rain taking down Nok, and I don't even know. It might be time to almost just try and back out a little bit here. Save if you can anything. Niko and Brokey to follow it up. And yeah, that's a powerful pistol round for FaZe.
Yeah, they got absolutely smashed, countered right off the back. Just a single player playing on Catwalk, and Rain finds Twist at the end.
What was that freaky jump he did coming through?
Yeah, we were talking about Kinky earlier. Rain wanted to get on the action.
Yeah, he just got a little bit of speed somehow coming through that. It's pretty cool. So, 1-0 in favor of FaZe. Now, I think this is just a general rule for pistol rounds because they are so weird compared to every other round of Counter-Strike. They can't know really that Lekro's alone there. I mean, they could throw that same execute, and if there was a 3-man stack at B, maybe
it goes completely different. Maybe it's a 2-on-2 at the end of the day. But yeah, that's a blind counter right out of spawn. We have to remember as well, though, NIP won the pistol on Overpass and lost the second round immediately, and that's what started all of their woes. And you'll see up at the top, we need to swap the graphics around, as it was FaZe who took that pistol.
Really a bit of an uphill battle here for NIP again. We've got a scout on Twist and got some deagles on the rest of NIP, so another map here, Mirage, where you could definitely put that to use. I like the fact that they've got this Mac-10 on Olofmeister though, and if they just use him as the scout that's moving forward and checking what's out, that's such a good use of a player like that. It looks like they're going to try and split the B-bomb site from middle. They've got the space for it.
Yeah, pushing up towards Catwalk, the cover of the one smoke. They're doing this quietly as well, although no one's looking for Catwalk. A chance for Lekro, and his deagle's usually solid. Not this time. Took way too long on the first, and it took away his opportunity, but Twist grabs the head of coldzera from far away. I still don't know if they're close enough to actually go for this, but what they can do is set up and box these FaZe players as close to the bomb site as possible and try and take as many weapons away right at the end.
Yeah, that would be huge, wouldn't it? It's a pretty good return to the tapping there for Rain, and he sees a couple more. They're going to be lining up. We almost got that, actually. There we go. That's not bad. Triple kill for Rain. And Rez, yeah, he's not going to make it out of this hallway, is he? I mean, if they challenge him, maybe he's got a chance, but if they just stay put, then he's in trouble. It's an expensive round. Rain with a quad at the end, and it's ace, actually. He even got the first one in the round, but that's
a quiet
impressive.
Ace. Yeah, that was some nice shooting from Rain. Guarding on Catwalk, 2-0.
Yeah, it's against pistols, so you want to see him come out on top, but it did look smooth here. Nice double here.
Yeah, nice little lineup for him. A gift. First kill wasn't as clean as he would have liked, but now NIP have to go back to just pistols. No investment, no scouts. There's a deagle and a P250 picked up, and that's it. Should be a pretty standard round. coldzera even swapping to the Mac-10, perhaps to be a bit more aggressive, investigate that A-bomb site, try and get some bonus money.
Lekro just hoping for that timing. Blinded by the smoke. A little bit awkward for Rain. Just got some backup there. And in the end, they'll be fine. They close out that round very quickly. Here's a question for NIP, and for you as well.
Okay.
How do you play this if you're NIP? Do you try and fight for that mid control, or do you try how do you want to deal with the middle of the map right now if you're against FaZe?
I actually think you can do it right off the bat if you want to. If you're NIP, they have a good amount of utility. They have a good amount of Molotovs and smokes and flashbangs. They also have an AWP on Nok, so you can open this up if you want to show an aggressive style. Remember, that was something on Overpass. They weren't aggressive at all. So if you want to switch things up and try and shock FaZe early on, aggression might be an avenue you can take.
Well, odds are now 7-1 and it's 5-1 before. So this one got worse. Maybe Rez can change that around as Niko will get dropped down the middle. So not exactly aggressively fighting for that mid control, but just having an eye on that and winning that first battle is so important.
It'll be interesting to see what FaZe can do, because even if they lose a player, they have control of middle. They're boosting into the window. Rez is backed off to watch just this. And actually, it's Olaf with the Mac-10, so he needs to bide his time. He can't jump in there clean and take that fight. But even if you have a man advantage, but you lose control of mid, that can sometimes be just as deadly. That can sometimes even hurt you, not having control of middle.
It was Faze that smoked this off to try and get all of Meister in here, and that is so perfect. Rez is not going to be happy. They probably thought that was going to be a smoke to try and get cat control or something, and instead it works out the other way. Long-range play for Plopsky. I can't believe he actually got that. And now Brokey alone at the bomb side. Actually, he's got a little bit of backup there in... it's not going to be enough, is it? Twist goes down, and now Brokey 1 versus 3, and he's locked in.
That's a perfect recovery from Plopsky. Again, another big impact round. Missed chance there, but Lekro does finish it off in the end. Able to grab the AWP. Excuse me, yeah, they do go for the AWP. Nox got one, Twist is going to have the other. So double up set up on the CT side. We saw this once on Overpass in their first gun round. It didn't work out for him, but here in Mirage, might be a little different. This is great from Plopsky. He knows one's going to come from there, but then he sees the shot from Olaf, and that is a good response.
It could have been dangerous. So I guess Olaf must have picked up that M4 in the window, so didn't even have the MAC-10 anymore. Still made it work. Plopsky, that is. And back to pistols for Faze. I mean, this is already, at least potentially, such a different start for NIP. If they win this round, they're going to get something they really never had on Overpass, and that's just economic breathing room. What a change that would be. Nok close with the 1-AWP, and Plopsky in front of him. They've got a great double setup out there.
That's 2 rounds in a row now. Rez has been able to win the fight against Niko in middle. Clean in a one-on-one duel to start off NIP on the right foot. 2-man advantage now for the defense, and these Deagles slow down. Again, looking for those mistakes, looking for anyone in the defense to peek into them, because such a disadvantage for coldzera. He'll probably even know the setup when he sees this up. Yeah. But what a tough fight to win with the Deagle.
Yeah, he was looking for it. You see, immediately he was flanking around, trying to see if he could get that scope in, but not going to be working out. Lekro walking back from middle and maybe missing a chance. Brokey will take care of Rez, so a little bit of damage inflicted. Orb on Twist, he gets the 1, and he's almost going to get taken down, but he'll survive. And that's critical. Only Rez dying in this round for NIP, and a 3-2 scoreline. And Faze investing into the round. They actually have the grenades as well, not bad.
Look for Brokey. He's been past the AWP, not the usual one you'd expect, but he's got the spawn if he wants to go towards A ramp or Palace. He's got the close one to try and grab an angle and pick a player, a defender off. And actually, he goes the other direction.
I actually love that A rush with either a Deagle or an AWP. It is so much fun when you get the timing down right. Nok in position. Oh, I think that was a team flash that could have almost taken down Rain. Now he's just hiding in the middle. Surely that's been called out. I think that's why Rez is shooting through the smoke, and no one's found him. The grenade will do a little bit, but Rain is lucky to be alive.
Yeah, he played a really dangerous game, and that's both gun rounds. Now remember, previously it was Niko rushing up Catwalk to take the opening fight. This time it's Rain getting mid-control very fast, and now they have it in a 5-on-5. 2 smokes left for Faze to use, 2 Molotovs as well.
And look at how close to the corner of that A bomb site coldzera is. He can turn that. If there's any fight going on in the window, he can turn this corner in a second, and he'll be there to break that up. So
he'll need a flashbang from a teammate. Nox zoned in with the AWP towards that A ramp. Not going to be easy for coldzera to get involved with this AWP just perched, waiting.
Oh, are they going to flash their way through? Smoke. Yeah, here they come. And Rain will take down Rez. That's a good beginning. Plopsky falls, and I don't know what Nox going to be doing now. He gets flashed. You meant the flash to actually get coldzera out, but instead, they just take him right down.
Yeah, when the other half of the defense, it's not even Nock who gets pressured, it's coming up Connector. When that part of the defense collapses, Nock can do nothing but retreat. And that's all NIP can have in this round is 2 weapons survive. Twist and Lekro trying to keep the guns in their hands. 1 AWP, 1 M4 as well, but Olaf is already on a hunt.
Yeah, they know that AWP is somewhere else. Why not go for it? Twist's got to be careful. If he scopes a lot here, Olaf can hear him.
I think Olaf might have heard him.
Yeah, it feels like it. Going to be trying to go for him. There's no one really catch him on the other side, so the rest of Faze are pretty far away. And there it is. AWP gone. I've got to say, that's a cool strategy for Faze. They threw that smoke at top connector themselves, stood 3 men behind it, and flashed. I think the flash even went over the building.
Yeah.
So just how do you deal with that?
There's a couple layers to that as well, because when that fight's going on, if it's not a clean win for Faze coming up connector, the Opper throws that Molotov towards A ramp. It looked like Nock was going to want to peek towards connector and actually help his teammates, and that might be what coldzera was exactly waiting for. The fire of the op shot to take his peek to get out into the open and pin him down in CT spawn. It just worked out because Rain hits a stellar shot and Olaf with the follow-up. They didn't need to have any of that struggle. They just had easy entries into the bomb site as they go. 4-2. NIP on the back foot with their money, again staring down economic issues.
Twist not excited. Yeah, they do. At least they pick up the double AWP, but you're right. Pretty much the entire bank spent in this round. Rain is 11-2 right now.
And again, mid control for almost nothing.
Yeah.
For just a little bit of utility, and that is a problem that we've seen defenses crumble if they're giving away mid control too easily, too consistently.
And FaZe love it. They've been using Connector, they've been using Window. They're going to be winning the fight at ramp, though, and that's not bad at all. And down the middle as well, they actually finally get the kill on Overpass, who was trying to sneak in for a third time in the window. So they found a way to secure that at least. 4 versus 3 should be a chance for NIP.
It's still very dangerous, though, even with the advantage for this defense, especially Plopsky's position. Brokey at A ramp, coldzera and Palace, Rain and Connector. They have him blocked in, and it's going to be difficult for Nock to be able to support him. Smoke is going to buy some time. But Plopsky, if he makes the wrong call and falling back, it's all over. He controls well. coldzera cannot hit the headshot, and Brokey's got to back away.
Oh, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Just this is one of those really critical rounds. When you go back and sort of walk through how this first half is going to be playing out, if NIP don't win this one, and especially because it looks like they might actually make it out with a bunch of rifles, then, you know, we're right back to that overpass pattern. And yeah, that really killed it for them. So
they just can't lose anything. Plopsky's taking a big risk with this push, and that's money they don't have to lose. They must be careful. Miss smoke, but it doesn't really matter. Brokey's just trying to save, and no one from NIP is going to chase after that. Losing a third player in this round would be a disaster, even in victory. So a third round for NIP as they close the gap, but they're not out of it just yet.
No, definitely not. That'll be interesting to see. They have enough to put together a buy phase. I mean, saving that AWP and the rest of it, they could be dangerous in this upcoming round. 4-3. And let's just see. I mean, Faze of Rain just having a really, really good game to start with.
Listen,
that's a classic, isn't it?
This is only going to last so long. If NIP can't put a stop to how often and how easily FaZe is getting control of mid, like eventually if you give up that so many times, it's going to bite you. And we've seen it happen once before already. But they cannot be giving it up just for free in that fashion.
Twist made a jump over. That smoke obscuring everything. And, oh, he's almost caught him. He has, in fact. I think Olofmeister thought that was the end of that fight. And now, timing is looking good here for FaZe. They want to punish it immediately. And Niko will take down Rez, not to follow. And they're just getting overrun. And Niko and Rain, an amazing tag team to open this up with. And there's just nothing left in the bomb side. Wow.
FaZe is really loving, we saw it on Overpass here on Mirage, they're loving some of these set pieces of just a single pop flash. You get multiple players in position right at the end of Palace, one pop flash towards the site, and it ruins the defense. Niko is stellar coming out with a double kill.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to stop, isn't it? Again, there's just, sometimes you want a little bit of a delay between the initial info that something is happening and it actually following through. And the way that FaZe are playing, I mean, that's the problem with lacking the mid control, right? When they're in the window or in the connector, if they execute on that A bomb site, you're just not gonna know until they're there. And the same thing kind of happened just from the other side here. So NIP not getting a lot of early warning when anything is coming through here, and that's rough. 5-3. And their money, once again, not looking great.
I know, it hurts. They've done their best to stay in this, and I think they might have to sit around out of buying. Rez is at 1,900, Lecro at 1,500, Nock at 1,400. They just don't have the cash to fight in this round, even with the saved op. Which you'd hope does not lure them into buying in this round, because that could have huge consequences down the road.
Yeah, I really wouldn't want to see that. Although we do every once in a while, you know, sometimes teams will just feel, it's almost like a flex kind of, you're like, come on, let's do it. And then when it doesn't work, you're like, well then, to hell with it.
It's those noodle arms, not much of a flex.
Yeah, 9th round here. Twist with, oh, there's the M4. He did pick up an M4 for a teammate. Slightly tempted.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the timeout, they are going to invest. Yeah, this is the one that makes you uneasy. But NIP have put a lot of eggs in this basket. This is a big round for how the rest of this half plays out. SMG, AWP, M4, and a couple of deagles for this defense to hold off the attack.
I mean, I want to be proven wrong here, but we've seen this so many times, and Just from memory, it doesn't feel like the track record is that great.
Well, this is where you look at the position of Plopsky. You want that M4 to have contact towards the 8 bomb site. You'd like Twist with the op to be in a position where you can actually cut the map and just leave the AWP to have a deep angle to try for a pick and a retreat. And you're able to stack with those deagles elsewhere on the map. And that's exactly what they're doing, although Twist does not have that deep angle into the B bomb site. He's playing far back at the bench.
Yeah, and he's playing far back with only a flashbang. So if they make it past, he can't even buy any time or anything. This is so rough. Retakes right now, almost going to be impossible for NIP, given the grenade situation that they've got.
And only one kit on Twist as well towards the B bomb site.
Oh, Lecro falling away might be the wrong time. Smoke is up there in connector, and again, Faze, they're right on the lip of that A bomb site. They can be there in 3 seconds flat, and that's not going to be enough time for anyone to really come and help out. 40 seconds on the clock, and we do have a nice triangle set up here for NIP. If they can win the first fight, maybe they can actually do this into a little bit of a win. That Molotov forcing them in. There's Rez with the MP9 through the smoke, and he gets the first kill. Now the rest of Faze trying to come through. 30 seconds on the clock, and they're just a little bit slow this time. Olofmeister winning the fight. 25 seconds, and in the window, it's Lecro going down. That's Brokey alone with the AWP in middle, just holding it, and they're going to surely get this bomb plant. The only thing is North is up in the... He's up in the hallways waiting. Olofmeister's dropped the bomb, but they're outplanting it. Finally going to go for it. Brokey with another kill, and they can't stop the bomb plant. I think that was their big ticket here. I can't believe he gets that headshot. He goes for more and does a lot of damage to Olofmeister. This round should already be done for NIP. As soon as that bomb goes down, they should be in trouble. What did they do now? Twist lurking in, trying to take a shot through the box, and Olaf will get one. The no-scope not connecting, and Twist, I don't know what you could do here. The flashbang right in his eyes, and a follow-up as well. He's blind for 10 seconds straight, and he still gets the no-scope. Taking Olaf, and he nearly gets it. It's so close. Brokey instead with a nice triple, but that was... Man, they fought for that round, NIP.
You've got to give props to Twist for that attempt at the retake, that attempt at the clutch. 2 flashbangs in his face. He's still making progress, and that last shot had to have been so close. That looked almost on him, and almost maybe was taking a step as he fired. 6-3, but a narrow margin. And that's way too close.
Wow, yeah, that took everything, didn't it?
But this is the risk of that buy. Getting close with that kind of investment at that stage doesn't matter. You're now, this is the hole that you've dug yourself.
It's true, isn't it? At least they have a Zeus in this round, so...
Yeah.
Could be potential for comedy, you know?
I like that.
I think we've discussed this before, but it is kind of a win-win, because either you get a kill with it and it's hilarious, or you don't and it's, you know...
It usually does look equally as silly. Rain gonna control connector utility being used to keep and sustain mid-control. Niko already up on catwalk, gonna clear out the ladder room with a pop flash. At least Olaf for the moment investigating towards this B bomb site.
It would be great if they had a Mag-10 actually Faze, just to, again, throw at a bomb site, but...
Rez has that too, so we'll see how it comes. I think Olaf spotted one, goes for the pre-fire. Lecro down just below half HP. Still no commitment from Faze.
And look at Rain. He is checking out the site and finding nobody so far. And if he wins this fight, then they're going to avoid all of the danger on the other side up on the box. And that's, yeah, well done. Just Faze not leaving anything to chance here.
Yeah, Faze grabbing mid and just camping it and saying, Olaf, you check towards B, Rain, you check towards A, and we'll see what you guys find and go from there. They find a free site, and Olaf's going to find a double kill. The USP does put him down eventually.
I'm not gonna lie, Jason. I think you dated yourself saying they were camping middle. That term was retired in like 2007 or something.
Has that gone away?
I don't think people say that anymore. I don't know why. Maybe we could bring it back, like a, you know, some sort of renaissance.
We've done too good of a job of explaining it as a useful tool in competitive CS.
That's the problem, isn't it? That actually we would think of it as a good thing now, but
not camping. He's lurking.
That's it. Just spin that.
Knock is going to try and hold on to this. Faze isn't boxed in, but I don't know if they want to commit. I mean, there's just not great money. Oh, and there's the spam from Niko. That makes things easy.
It's just unfair, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't even have to actually face and challenge. Rain at 13-5. Remember on Overpass, he was the quiet one. The other 4 players were sky high on the scoreboard. He was just chilling, having a good time. Here on Mirage, he's taken over.
He's been tagged in, as they say.
It's your turn.
He's a big Norwegian guy as well, Rain. You know, you could see him maybe in like a some sort of spandex to the side of a wrestling match, just getting tagged in, jumping on the Swedish kids.
Okay, yeah.
It's rough, isn't it? It's really rough. Cold alone in middle. The rest of them, just I mean, if they make their way into B and they still have Cold in middle to control any rotation, that's hard to deal with, and they're trying for it. God. And what an entry! Rain gets one, and Lekro going to get rained on from above. Olofmeister will take him down. Here's that rotation that we're talking about, the control of it, and even just knowing it, even if he gets traded, that is so valuable.
They've done too good of a job though, FaZe, and I don't even think there's a chance for a retake. Nock still over at the A bomb site, Rez bailing out towards top mid, and they're going to give it up. FaZe have their 8th round, and again, it's simple. They seem to have really dumbed down some of these tactics, and it's just towards that B bomb site, the pop flash, the peek, Rain gets the first one. That second defender just has nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's hard to hold. You could just see, I mean, they even knew a second. I think they spotted Rain as he jumped past the first window, and it didn't even matter. Instant headshot entry there. 8-3 going to be the scoreline, and you know, more doses of reality coming NIP's way. It's NIP versus reality in this particular best of 3. Not coming out on top.
I think reality always wins.
It's annoying, isn't it? We've yet to find a way to jailbreak that, but someone will.
Well, 8-3, and still just bring up the money issues for NIP. Not a whole lot of cash flow. AWP on Nock. Krieg on Rez, he can drop an M4 if he wants, but again, NIP's money is just right on the edge where it feels like you might just want to wait. And they are going to upgrade some pistols, buy some utility around the 2 saved weapons, and they'll play for the next round. But FaZe, a very commanding lead.
Just showing themselves in middle, but have we seen NIP at all having mid control ever in this game so far?
Maybe in the second half we'll see it.
Yeah, they'll just save it for that.
Yeah, they haven't been able to challenge, and to be fair, the utility use has gotten so good and so standardized from T sides that challenging in mid sometimes does feel just very, very risky. But to not do it at all throughout a half seems so crazy dangerous.
I mean, I would love it if they had one window, one connector, one catwalk on B, and then, you know, just flash your way through, you know, just try and throw a flashbang and see if you could take a fight while they're setting up. Twist will get one on Olofmeister. That's pretty sneaky. Not sure it's gonna give them a lot here. Niko going down? Might have been wrong. Maybe it could give them something. 50 seconds on the clock, and FaZe are a little bit scattered across the map.
I think Lekro must have spotted Niko at an earlier time that we didn't spot because he was so convinced someone was in that window. Cold with this position, 40 seconds. Any indication that he wants to take that peek. It might be Nock shooting out towards Catwalk. This is where coldzera pounces. Good control. Plopsy's going to have to now rotate down towards A ramp and try and flank it out. Lekro holding on as much as possible. And coldzera keeping a foothold on this bomb site for his teammates.
When they spot Lekro, they know that he's there, definitely. He's still tapping away. That's a wonderful shot to take down coldzera. 20 seconds. The bomb is going to be planted, but Plopsky, did he get the kill right afterwards? That's the big question. A bit of a distraction, and there's Plopsky with the deagle, taking down Brokey. So for everything that coldzera did to open that up, and he did a lot. He even flashed him into that connector. It was beautiful, but Rain, I don't think there's a way out of this one. 1 versus 3. He's surely going to get shot at the back if he tries to go for this one. Actually, he's Lekro over the front instead. And NIP with another round, a triple for Lekro.
He had the challenge at that point, so he would have given himself a chance to spray down the diffuser inside that smoke. Either way, great recovery from NIP. It all comes down to that flank through Palace. That one was very nice. Plopsky coming around towards A ramp. That was the insurance policy for NIP, and they've got their 4th out of an unlikely round. And now that just balloons their money, where they've had all these economic issues. Now they're feeling rich. Now they're feeling flush. They can dig into that playbook if they want. This is almost where you feel like if there was going to be a round where NIP pushed towards top mid, it almost feels like it should be this one.
Yeah, I mean, especially because you take all the wind out of their sails. They don't have a lot of money either. If you make that work, if you win that top mid fight, yeah, you can start to feel a little bit better.
You can afford to risk some losses because you have cash built up on Nock and Lekro and Twist. We'll see what they decide to go for.
I'm curious about this. I mean, there are obviously other ways to be aggressive. We've seen double stacks in A holes from the CT side. Pushing B hole. There's so many things to do. It's just that mid control seems to be something that you at least, again, you want to try it at some point to see if you're going to get it. And it doesn't seem like they really want to here. Rez just keeping an eye on it. Not going to be challenging for it. And the AWP on Nok is, they got that same A ramp setup, which again, I don't really mind that setup. I think that's a cool setup. But will it actually work with mid control possibly going to Faze here? Oh, that is dangerous though. Brokey surely going to be winning this fight if Lekro keeps going.
Yeah, this is, well, I don't think Lekro even wants to push forward with just a Krieg in this fashion.
What is he holding the light switch for? Is it someone tried to turn off the light? He's just ready to shoot him in the hand.
He's got that narrow angle as well towards the top of the stairs, so he can spot if an AWPer crosses back and forth, or anyone crosses back and forth. But everyone on the map very quiet. Everyone very far back, very passive as well. Nok and Plopsky playing aggressive towards top A ramp. Rez in connector.
Oh, they got them in control now. 50 seconds. The bomb is quite far back. I'm wondering who is meant to pick that up when they have Rain in there now.
I would assume Olaf would go and meet up with coldzera towards the A bomb site.
Yeah, Brokey's now running all the way back through Underpass, and he's actually over on the B side. And Olafmeister, is he going to join him on that side? No, it looks like he's running all the way back. This is going to be a low... There's not going to be a lot of time left in this round. Niko with an opening, though. That's not bad at all.
Plopsky's the one that can stop this. He could have the bomb if he finds his kill, but Olaf hears all the footsteps. The kills towards the B bomb site, pulled the rotations. NIP thought for sure it was going to be attack at B.
Oh, but they would, I mean, if Plopsky wins that, he can't really know, but they would have won the round. There was 20 seconds left when he turned that corner. That's Faze just absolutely outplaying NIP in this round.
Well, that's a very good indication of what happens if you don't challenge at all for any control on the CT side. Even with the clock running down, even with it starting to get dangerous at 30 seconds in a 5-on-5, Faze had so many positional advantages that they were still just, they did such a good job of the position. It didn't even matter that the time was low. It was going to be such an efficient hit. There were so many people pushed forward into flanking positions to cut off the rotation and CT spawn towards that B bomb site. That is just Faze, that's a brutal constriction towards the bomb sites.
Oh, Nok wanting to fight in middle. He even did the double challenge, which is scary, but again, I kind of like seeing it. I just want to see what this is like for NIP if they can just have a round where Faze can't just do whatever they want in middle, which they've pretty much been able to do I think one time they fought Olafmeister in window and won. Every other time he's been in there somewhere. Nok will take the first kill though. That's worth a lot. Olafmeister drops. Cold over at the apartments. I mean, they could go for it again. Just 3 coming out connector with Cold, you know, either flashing them in or just trying to see if he could sneak in a kill as they're all occupied towards middle.
Yeah, it's hard this time with no one in window. It's going to be a little bit difficult. That's one less angle. Well, you can see Rez, he's cautious with that smoke there. Niko going to join up with Rain, so this will be a pinch. But again, Plopsky aggressive on A ramp, twist inside the bomb site. There's a solid defense here to hold off against this.
There definitely is going to have to be another good opening kill for Faze if they're going to make it.
No one's actually watching for coldzera to just march out. It's not the likeliest of plays, but it's very possible. And oh, coldzera definitely saw that.
Yeah, he did. And there comes the shot from Rain coming out of connector. Niko will follow it up, taking down Rez. And just like that, the defense is down to Plopsky. He's at the A ramp still, and 30 seconds on the clock. And they're waiting. They want to find him before they go for it. Niko goes down, and that MP9, Plopsky, now is the time to shine. He's going to get the shot, and that actually stops the bomb plant. Brokey, he can't go for it any longer, and he's in so much trouble. How does he possibly get this done? 14 seconds now. Oh no, Lekro burning to the Molotov and up on top of the box. Brokey, a young player, but he's not afraid of anyone, and he's going to be taking down Plopsky, leaving Nok now. It's a one-on-one. How has it come to this? Brokey with a quad kill, and he just wants one more to get that ace. A bit of a jump to spot him out, and now he's ready. He's waiting for it, and he doesn't get the flick. Oh my god, it is so close, but Nok will save NIP. Man, what a bold player Brokey is.
You can't even fault him for jumping up on the box after that effort of a clutch. Just to play whatever you feel. You could have played the time, you could have played it more passively, but beautiful to even get Faze in a position of winning that 1 versus 3. Lekro burned so much of this Molotov. Wow, and the bait out of Plopsky, the patience to keep faking the bomb plant over and over with even just 7 seconds on the clock.
That was so well done.
It's a rookie stare down there at the end.
Yeah, you'd like to see that. Both players so playing like they have way more experience than they do. It's well done. Almost a triple. I think I said it was an ace, but it was just going to be a triple. Still, for that kind of a clutch, you have to appreciate that. A little bit of a push coming towards middle. This is what we've been asking for all along, and it catches Faze off guard. They get their first early win as Rez will take a double. And still, Rain, I don't know how he's not been found, and he'll get it back somehow. They knew he was there all along. And that's CZ not going to do anything. A little bit of pressure being applied, and NIP will pick up another round. 9-6. Starting to fight back a little bit. That worked out really well.
This was starting to look just as sketchy as Overpass was, but the difference was NIP just grabbed some control at the end. 3 of the last 4 rounds go in their favor. That was a nice job from them on defense to contain that and give themselves a better advantage for the second half.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 9-6 here as we get into it. All right, Jason. Everything's fine on your end.
I love that little sound effect and like the glass changing. That got me all hopped up. I'm ready to watch some Counter-Strike.
It's amazing. Just imagine if they made car windows like that and it just, it malfunctioned like the windshield. As you're driving down the highway.
That's a grim thing to imagine.
Well, that's where my mind went. It's because of watching NIP play. I can only think of
car crashes,
something like that.
9-6 in the favor of Faze Clan after that first half. They dominated Overpass, which was the first map in the series. So taking Mirage, they would win this opening series of Blast Premier. And Brokey's in position. He spots the shoulder. There's the first. And Twist, no armor. How much does he want to challenge? Niko is here as well, and he doesn't even know that quite yet. Now he's got the intel.
And Rain with a kill on the other side on the bomb, so this round is absolutely falling apart. I don't know what you do with your Twist. I mean, if you let them go, then you might not get a chance again. And obviously, fighting them could end very badly as it did. That bomb plant being tried for, a little bit of a wallbang attempt, but actually jumping and shooting. This is getting very tricky now. Lekro and Rez with an unbelievably unlikely round here. It's a P250 on Rez. Starts off with a nice headshot, and it is immediately cancelled. His subscription to that round was just done in by Niko. It's just immediately erased.
Yep, subscription, you got it for the one reason, then you cancel it immediately afterwards.
Yeah, just while the trial period is still on, so you don't actually have, but then you forget it. Sometimes
then you forget, and then you just keep getting billed.
Yeah, you realize a year later, you're like, why am I still Yeah.
10-6. With Faze taking both pistols in this map now. They started the first half on a 3-0 run, looking to do the same thing here on defense. Rain has 20 kills. He's really skyrocketed. Brokey's having a good series. He's at 13 on this map. He was up towards the top on Overpass. Same with Niko.
17th round. And Faze, I mean, they don't need a lot more right now. Just a couple of good rounds here, especially if they could shut NIP down early on. That's all they need.
Got to survive this second round by 2 Kriegs in action on Twist and Plopsky. Knock with the Scout as well. They have got a decent amount of utility to play with.
Somewhere out there in the green room, Chad is getting a tweet ready about the fact that you could have a better buy losing a round than you can winning it if you just get the bomb plant.
That's something to do with Nip Magic.
Something to do with Nip Magic as well. That's true. I know Chad's all about that in his heart.
Rez going to try and peek up towards Connector. Look how passive the defense is from Faze, though. They don't want to mess with these Deagles whatsoever. They'll just sit back. They'll be content to allow them to have mid control, but those Kriegs are going to come into play pretty soon here. Both of them in middle. Twist using his to cover towards Catwalk. That's going to allow his teammates time to boost up into window, to get in towards Connector and challenge towards that A-bomb site if they want.
They snuck right under Scout, just waiting for it, and he actually gets a bit of a tag in. A follow-up from Rain will do a lot of damage, and Plopsky finally with a return. And is it going to be quite enough? That's the bomb down there on Connector, and on the other side, Cold and Olof, they're ready. Yeah, they're going to be boosting up on top of this bricks, and I don't know what you could do now. They're stuck in here. Easy kill, and that's going to be a good follow-up. That's so well done. Faze handling that very, very well.
I don't know if it was just they didn't necessarily have a plan or if the engagements just didn't go their way to put him into use, but Plopsky is the last player to go down there for NIP, and he had a full set of flashbang, smoke, and a Molotov.
How they were sneaking through through the middle there, dodging the Scout. You ever play that game Commandos where you have to like get a squad through and you don't actually almost never have to fight anyone? You just have to like sneak under sentries and stuff like that?
I don't think so.
Okay, well
sounds fun.
I'll show you at some point. That's what Fred's playing.
Okay.
It's just saying like just don't try and fight them. Just try and sneak in. See if we.
I was gonna say, unfortunately, in Counter-Strike, you do have to fight them eventually.
I bet Threat played that game and was really good at it. 11-6, 18th round. They're out of money, which they're used to at this point, though. That's good news.
Yeah, they've been playing this whole series pretty much without any cash flow. Niko going to get aggressive with the SMG now. Plenty of bodies at top mid, and the M4 is pretty brutal. Brokey gets 1. Niko has a 3rd kill in the round. And it's all over. Lekro's going to try and just walk into the B bomb site, and he can have it. Bombs down top mid. Nobody's here for Faze.
Yeah, not much of a victory when you don't have the actual bomb. One shot's all he was going to get. Cold Zero will take him down. Niko with the triple and a 12-6 scoreline. And still Rain leading the he started with 9-0, I think, and he just hasn't let go of that #1 position since. So that's pretty impressive.
No one's really been close until just recently as Niko started to add up some body count with the SMG. He's at 16 kills, so not too far behind. But yeah, I mean, this is just, FaZe feels like they're just a step ahead tactically and then their way they're playing this map as a team. And then also the skill is there in this game for FaZe as well. 6-round lead. 3 players gonna take mid control for NIP. Flashes, smokes are out.
Oh, and they're running the gauntlet here. They've actually got him locked in the corner, Niko, and there's no one nearby that can save him at the moment. So, I don't know, maybe they could throw a flashbang over the wall to try and save him. That would almost be the only thing at the moment. He's going to flash his way in this. Yeah, late flashbang from a teammate, and he does make it out. I think they could have maybe kept him boxed in, but...
It was a tough angle to punish when he was jumped up on top of that railing, right?
Yeah.
Could just barely see the lower half of the body, and just no one was really aggressive enough to take advantage of him being stuck. Either way, they've accomplished their goal, even if they don't get that kill. They have mid-control themselves. They have Lekro in the window. He can cut off rotations. He can find a pick here onto Niko if a mistake is made.
Look at Rain and Brokey pushing up in those A hallways.
It's a good reaction for 1 minute left in the round, starting to get information. Brokey can even fall away and let Rain sit here.
And especially, they lost mid control. This is something that we didn't see out of NIP so much on the CT side, but sort of a response to losing mid and saying, okay, well, let's try and figure out what's happening in A.
I'm surprised it's not more of a response. So I'm wondering, Brokey is just now falling out. Cold Zero and Olaf, they're situated over at the B bomb site. This is a pretty decent setup. Olaf can do work. Here comes the flashbang. Olaf's gonna have a chance. As the flames come in, he's got 1 kill, and he can't follow up on a second. But they brought it into a 3-on-3. Niko gets just 1, and the bomb is going down.
Oh, that looked like he almost made that transfer work. He's so lightning fast, but you're right, the bomb is down, so 2-on-2. Flashbang doesn't really do that much. And oh, what a repeat from Brokey again. Quick with the open Rain with the headshot to take down Plopsky. They just get the bomb plant, and FaZe will clean up the round. 13-6 now. That's, I don't know. That was a close round.
It was a very close round. I think the big thing was Niko pushing through that smoke. There was a smoke towards the Myrtle hole, and he just went through it. He took the risk. They delayed just enough. Oh, it's a team Molotov that bounces into Olaf's position. He might have been able to play that differently and survive a little longer if the fire wasn't there. But yeah, Niko with just 1 kill in the rotation. Brokey with that quick shot as well.
I'm not going to lie, though. If you're Cold Zero and you're not sure if your teammate's going to go when you want him to, that's an excellent way of
just throw Molotov at his feet.
Making sure, like...
You're going to peek now.
Yeah. Here you go. Like one of those, those eagle birds that push the, their babies out the nest when they need to learn to fly.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Okay. Olaf is the baby bird in this scenario.
That's what I was going for.
Okay.
There's a Photoshop in there somewhere.
13-6. Timeout taken by NIP, just now ending. And they are running out of chances quite clearly in this series as a whole, not just the map.
Yeah, I mean, this is so rough. 13-6. It is FaZe map pick, but still, NIP looked like they had a little bit more of ground to stand on. They had some rounds where they had more money here on Mirage, but FaZe have looked so deadly all the way through the day, which in many ways is, I think, just what everybody wants at this point in time. Just more good plays out of FaZe. That would be set the tone off right for 2020. Some grenade damage in the middle, and they still have mid control if they wanted here. NIP, they could do something with this. Plopsky sneaking in alone in the middle. Oh, I think he got. Did he? No. Almost got tagged there.
Well, we're going to have a big test for Rain. The hot hand so far in Mirage, him and Niko combined at this A-bomb, so they're the only 2 defenders here. Cold Zero is going to try and get in a position, but I think he's going to just be late unless Rain can do something spectacular, and he does deliver. A double kill. Puts Niko into prime position, but he can't handle Rez turning the corner.
That's so important for Rez to get that kill. A follow-up on Niko, and now Cold is still there. Brokey's there with the AWP. They're going to go for a bomb plant towards the middle, and Olafmeister, if he was there 5 seconds earlier, that might have been an absolute disaster for NIP, but at least they have that bomb plant. And now look at Nok. He's going to be walking down towards the ramp instead. He would have a good angle for it. Rez with yet another kill. He's fighting in the middle. Another headshot comes through. A huge quad kill for him so far, and he's looking for a bit more. It's going to be Plopsky to clean it out, but that was a very, very accurate round out of the young Swede.
Yeah, that's a disgusting round from Rez. Just marching up into that A-bomb site. Niko not prepared for it. That's a hard clear of the corner and a good call as well. Single-handedly takes over the round, gives NIP their 7th.
It's a 6-round gap. And if Faze run out of money here, then it's not even going to be 6 rifle rounds. It's doable. Like, they can close this out if they can just break the economy.
Yeah, this can shrink, but I mean that's exactly the story we told on Overpass, and they were never quite able to do it. Every time they had Faze at that breaking point, Faze was able to hold on to the round and get some money flowing back into their coffers. So this is a huge chance for NIP. If they can win this, that lead, like you said, it's going to disappear pretty quick. Another timeout taken. I believe this time it was Faze.
Just maybe talking a couple of things over. I mean, they've done a lot of different things already in terms of trying to be aggressive. It just looks like they have more of a theory of what to do when they sort of lose one part of the map. How do they make up for that? Trying to think, maybe wanting to be aggressive, but the smoke in window means Brokey can't help out Rain, so he just says, all right, I'm not going to push alone. Niko, this is not looking good for him at the moment, is it? There's 2 people on the other side. If he starts, he's going to be falling back, which might be good news.
He can't protect coldzera in this position. That's going to be a lot of pressure on Brokey, who's now down low, so coldzera's got to give it up. This is awkward. He's going to burn alive. Rain needs this kill. It's not clean. Oh, they have all the defense here, though. They've gotten here just in time. Niko with a double. The fire is surely going to take him down, but Rain is still waiting and holding them away from coldzera.
He's right on the other side, and Lekro, I mean, he's the only element of surprise right now. If he could sneak in and get a kill, that would be something, but Rain is going to be so quick once again. Headshot to bring it down, and Niko starting the round with that triple. That's a nice flick, but it's going to immediately get cancelled. Another double kill for Rain, up at 26 and 11 right now, putting on an outrageous performance.
Yeah, Niko gets a double kill before he goes down and gets the 3rd kill with a nade from the grave.
Yeah. And that was... There was unbelievably awkward timing for Faze, wasn't it? They almost got, like you said, Niko wasn't going to be able to protect coldzera. It looked like it was all going to come crashing down, and then somehow they still turn it around. And that was the round where NIP were going to crush their economy.
Yes.
So you just said it, and here we go.
It happened again. Faze just able to prevent the disaster. So, I mean, it's just been... NIP's got nothing easy in both of these maps that they've played so far. Everything has been a struggle. And they're starting to really collapse under the pressure. Plopsky, Twist, Nock and Lekro all towards the B-bomb site. coldzera and Olaf to defend.
We saw this kind of a round attempted by Faze when it was coldzera holding middle and the rest of Faze were pushing the B-bomb side. And I mean, it makes sense to try and do this, but they still need the entry.
coldzera's got a Molotov. If they give away the game towards this B-bomb site, if he can turn fast enough, that could be brutal, but he's playing gun out.
Yeah, Olaf Meister, that MP9, not a lot of stopping power when they're all over the edge. Brokey caught in the middle of nowhere, and he's definitely going to be going down. So now coldzera just playing a spy inside of the smoke. They faked the bomb once, but he's waiting ice cold inside of it. Is he going to go for it this time? The smoke is gone and the bomb not being planted. He almost got the follow-up. That would have been a really good headshot, and Rez will catch Rain trying to get back. It looks like NIP have at least bought the space to get this bomb plant down, although Niko... That's the kill on Plopsky. A little bit of a stutter. Bomb goes down. Wow.
He can go for this. He doesn't have a kit. His only other option would be to save some kind of a weapon if he can find it. He misses the jump, and that's an awkward thing to have happen in a 1 versus 2, and you might as well back away at that point. It's not your clutch.
It makes everyone else feel good for the amount of time that we've all tried to make that jump and failed, you know. I'm glad Niko's also doing it. Is that your excuse when you know matchmaking teammates laugh at you in the future?
I watched Niko do it.
Yeah, failed that one too. Slightly different stakes, obviously, but 14-8 now as NIP find a way through. That I don't know. That was close, wasn't it?
I mean, that play from coldzera coming up catwalk, that's a brutal play. That is ice cold, not coming through the smoke, because you could see it was a fake tap, and I think Plopsky was even looking for that exact. They had to have been like hitting tab and saying, coldzera's still alive. He's probably around here somewhere. Awkward exchange for Olaf, not able to get into safety. Oh, I'm glad we get to see this.
Oh. His angles.
The best is they probably aren't even laughing at Niko. We just edited it to make Niko look as dumb as possible.
Yeah, giving away all the TV tricks on you. We should do that compilation. That'd be good. Just people outrageously laughing at the radio. Ooh, nice boost. And Niko and Brokey there with a follow-up. They are just merciless, aren't they? Not giving any chances for NIP. Every time they've got them in a position where they're out of money, Faze just find a way back. This is so rough. Cold knows. Lekro hiding inside, but this is the play that Cold tried to do last round and did, so he's just well aware. It's like, I'm not going to trust this.
All down to Nok. Feeling very lonely on this map. Cold Zera going to take a fight in open space, and he's going to win it. Welcome to the pros.
It's like the Counter-Strike version of that Stephen King thing, The Mist, where there are monsters inside you. No? No?
No, I don't know that one.
Okay, well, fair. It's fine. 15 to 8, Jason. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't know Commandos. Don't know any Stephen King.
Yeah, we need to coordinate our references better next time around. 15 to 8.
Yeah, let's. I mean, I think what did they need to win on Overpass? 10 rounds in a row.
Yeah, that was 15 to 5 at one point.
Yeah,
not too much better here on Mirage, despite looking better.
If something felt better, but it's not exactly clear what. Brokey with that Krieg long range and the spray down, absolutely disgusting. They're all headshots, and there's nothing left here for NIP. Man, this is obviously not how they want to start, but what a great way to see FaZe get off the ground.
Yeah, I mean, not just here at Blast Premier, but even just in 2020 in general, and that's got to fill you with some hope. Like what they see, obviously, I mean, let's not take too much away from it to give them too much credit just yet. This is a team with a very recent roster change, losing their star player, losing their identity. It's a transitional period for NIP, but to start off so far here at Blast Premier in London, FaZe looking good. A dominant 2-0 victory over NIP.
Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below and get on top of all the social that Blast are putting out there because they are on top of their game. But we will see you next time.